What is up, Nintendo Land? Welcome to Nintendo Open Air Podcast. The Final Smash Ultimate Direct. Did it fuel your fighting spirits, or are you just finally glad this feature length directs are over? Tonight we'll be taking a look at our own global Smash power for this fast approaching Final Smash. However, as Sakurai said, why close the door when we can add even more? So we'll also be breaking down Nintendo's latest financial results briefing. So dust off those Smash Amiibo, Nintendo Land. We're going to Smash World. Alright. Of course, tonight we're starting with Smash Ultimate. I was going to hit some of the highlights from the Direct itself, and before we give our final vote on the game, since it is Election Day. So, first, Direct started with, of course, new fighters. We did not get the fighters that were leaked. We got Ken and Incineroar, another Pokemon. What do you guys think?
I've heard people say they're never trusting a league again.
Whatever. I guess I had missed the memo on the leak because I'm down with the two new fighters. They seem legitimate. Although I'm just like, how many clone fighters? Like, what is it, 74 total fighters now? How many clone fighters are we gonna have? Ken's another clone fighter. Hopefully the Pokemon isn't.
He looks pretty unique. I mean,
Yeah, I couldn't.
Mentioned
I don't know whose moveset he would have. Yeah,
Bowser, Ridley,
Bowser maybe, but
I was thinking
King K. Rool.
No, who's the frog Pokemon whose name suddenly eludes me?
Greninja.
There you go. Isn't it sad I can remember the pre-evolutions but not Greninja?
Maybe. I could see that because if they're gonna make a quote unquote shadow fighter or whatever they call them of another, it would be another Pokemon. So maybe. Why can't they just be alternate skins of the same fighter? To me, it makes it. It's just, I mean, too many fighters is too much of a good thing, right? It's just.
Yeah.
It gets to the point where it's an unmanageable game. Like, you can never really settle on a particular fighter. There's just too much, you know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, choice is good, but there is a case of too much choice, and I kind of feel like they've jumped the shark on this one. There's just too damn many characters. And
somebody competitively probably bowed out of the last one because their ice climbers weren't there. Something like that. No,
okay, but you know what? Nobody has bowed out because their 6th or 7th friggin' Fire Emblem sword fighter it wasn't there.
Now, I'm all for bringing back past characters, but why add so many more? I guess so many that are arbitrary, kind of.
That seem
bottom of the barrel.
A few fan favorites I would have totally understood, and we're looking for, but most of these aren't really. They're just kind of like, oh well, all right, another character from that series, right? It just feels like they're filling out each. Oh, we need another character from, Mario, or we need another character from this or that. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, original Smash 64 pretty much covered. Even it might have had a little excess baggage on it, but.
They all have
12.
They all have, and now all the excess baggage is back.
Yeah,
like every game had a couple of those characters that you were just like, oh, like Young Link, for example. He's back. They're all back. All those characters that you thought were lame to begin with. Pichu. He was just the shittier Pikachu. There was no benefit.
My daughter saw Pichu the other day, and she's like, "It looks like Pikachu." And it's like, I think it turns into Pikachu or something. I don't know.
Well, it came afterwards, right? Pikachu only had one evolution, and then in later games, do you remember which one, Jason? You probably do. When they introduced the baby Pokemon.
Oh, it was Gen 3, right?
As before my time. I think I started with Gen 4. Wait, it was Black and White? That might have been Gen 5.
Or was that Gen... Yeah.
I can't keep track anymore. 800 and something Pokemon. I'm sorry. I'm done. Same thing. Right? Just like with Smash. At some point, it's just like, okay, guys, you don't need to make any more. You just retool the game around what you got. You don't need yet another round of Pokemon for the next game. That I just sorry,
Max,
my
were
rant.
you excited for the 2 new fighters, the new Pokemon and Ken?
She is.
She's speechless.
Yeah, she's.
Mo kind of brought up an interesting point when he was mentioning the original Smash. It came out, it had so few characters, and as they've shown us through the direct, we're going to start with that same handful of starter characters and unlock basically what the other 60-something characters. That's going to be a game in and of itself, just
Yeah, it was a pain
unlocking
in the
those
ass for
characters.
Wii U, I thought. I remember unlocking
Yeah.
people and be like, can I just get the damn dog already?
Well,
But whatever.
but right, that's all I played of Smash on the Wii U. Like that's the only thing that motivated me to even play the game. Now, don't get me wrong, I played a fair amount of the 3DS one. It was just by the time the Wii U one came out, I had already played a ton of the 3DS one, and I was done with it. But I don't mind having to unlock stuff as long as it's a nice, reasonable progression and fun. Yeah, ultimately, and not just a grind, just a crappy grind like it was on Melee. Kinda.
Maybe you can scan the amiibo and it'll unlock the character.
I'd settle for that. I'd still try. What I would do is I'd play to unlock them until I got sick of it. And just go get the rest of the amiibo.
Well, that kind of brings up another thing that's coming out in excess. As we've mentioned before on the podcast, they are releasing some of the older Smash Amiibo and reruns, updated with a Switch on the background and so forth. But we also got at least 3 sets of more Amiibo coming out. We've got the original 3 we knew about coming out in December with Smash, and then we've got K. Rool and Ice Climbers in February. And then we've got Isabelle, Pichu, Daisy, Ken, and Young Link. Just a big blank 2019 out there.
Yeah.
Is it too much?
Yes. The original ones are too much. Sorry, go ahead.
I thank you for reminding me to go check on pre-orders, see if there's any I'm missing. It is too much. I have too many, but I'm still getting them. Yeah. At least the ones I want. I'm not getting them all. Okay, the Splatoon one, I just, it's the same. It's a slightly, like, you know what I mean? It's like if you snapped a bunch of pictures of somebody in rapid succession, this is just a different picture from the set. Like,
I'm gonna hit you with
a very slightly different pose. Go ahead.
Here comes my whack job conspiracy this week. So this proves that this is a port. When Nintendo made the Wii U one, they said they would put out an amiibo of every single character. And with this new one, which is supposedly a new game, they're continuing to put out the amiibo for the characters, at least that weren't in the Wii U one, that didn't already have an amiibo.
Well, sure, but okay, I'll take that. But I mean, right? People would bitch left and right,
Smash
and it would
Bros.
be
Deluxe, yeah.
And it would be money left on the table, and Nintendo's, how they
I don't know how many of these things are going to sell, though. Really,
Nintendo understands completionists, and I will be a completionist.
How many people do you think really bought every single amiibo from the Smash line?
Is it percentage?
Besides me?
Yeah, besides you.
More than we think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say 10%.
And actually, I'm
less.
missing one. I don't know, man.
Which one are you missing?
I'm missing Player 2 Cloud.
Oh, jeez.
I have that one. I don't have
suck.
Max will sell it to you for a red Joy-Con.
What were you saying, Max? Which one don't you have?
The second Bayonetta one.
Bayonetta.
Yeah.
Oh, I got Player 2 Bayo. Yeah.
No, I don't have her.
And I got Player 2 Corrin.
Yep.
But yeah,
that's the one I don't have. I never got that one.
Really? We're all 3 of us are missing one of the Player 2s.
I'm missing all of the Player 2s.
That's the only Fire Emblem one I don't have.
What'd you say, Max?
I'll ask Mo if you wanted any of them.
Oh no, I I
Ridley?
did I did pretty much all of the first run except for I never owned the Pikachu. That was the only one out of the first run that I didn't own.
Your
And then
hatred for Pokemon runs deep.
yeah, then I started I know because I even bought like Wii Fit Trainer and Marshall. I had no idea who it was.
I bought that too.
Well, they were rare though. You bought them. You
Yeah.
always go for the rares, and you knew Pikachu was going to be the one that was going to be on every
on the
shelf
shelf
forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Mario seemed like a good
Yeah.
fit too to be on the shelf forever.
True.
So, and I guess Peach is rare now, like the original OG Peach one. And then like once they started coming out with more, I was like, okay, I'll just get the ones I like. So I got like Captain Falcon and Little Mac, and then I did buy the GameStop 3-pack with Duck Hunt and Rob and Mr. Game and Watch. By the way, did you guys see there's a Game and Watch conspiracy? Or not conspiracy, but a controversy?
No.
Any publicity is good publicity.
Well, I have seen
for the Game and Watch, man.
I guess so. Yeah. So I guess in the Game and Watch, there basically people are. You know how outrage culture is so awesome. In the original Game and Watch game Fire, the Mr. Game and Watch was depicting an American Indian with a feather in his head and throwing fire and at cowboys
throwing
or something.
You're a cowboy on top of a wooden fort, and the Indians come in and throw like lit torches, and you got to put them out before they burn your fort.
So he should not be included in Smash because he's a racist character.
Well, apparently there's a scene that there's a particular attack of his that includes 2 frames of a feather in his head or something.
But they updated it, I guess, on one of the Game and Watch collections where they just basically did everything was the same. They just took the feather off and was like, now he's a renegade or something.
A bandit, yeah.
Yeah, a bandit. So I just thought it was funny that I don't know.
I'm trying to remember, did they just add this for Switch, or did this just come up? I think this was
because Game and Watch was he was in. I don't know if this is a new attack, maybe, but
that's what I mean. Yeah,
but they had the little fire thing before. I remember him having the little torch thing.
Did he have a feather in his head? Do you remember? I don't remember him having a feather.
I don't remember, but even when I see it, I had to be told it was a feather.
It's just like he's got.
I thought he had a little rascal's hair sticking up, maybe.
That's you said it more nicely than I did, but
a little alfalfa Game and Watch.
It really looks more phallic to me, right?
Yeah.
It was a little rounded.
Everything looks phallic to you. Mr. Game and Watch looks phallic to you.
It's a feather. Well, he kind of does.
Well, anyway,
we're going down a dark hole. Let's get out of this.
But yeah, speaking of going down.
Speaking of which.
Yeah, but no, I bought a bunch of them, and then after a while, I was just like, I'm not gonna buy everything, but I did end up having like a couple stinkers, like Diddy Kong.
Well, why is Diddy Kong a stinker?
I don't know, because I don't have any allegiance to him.
I do.
And I bought Princess Zelda,
the game,
and I had no interest in the Legend of Zelda series, but I had the Link and the Zelda, which I ended up being able to use in Breath of the Wild, so that's good.
Yeah, that was your first real hard in-depth Zelda experience, right? You just never could get into a Zelda game before.
But I did get Mega Man and Pac-Man, so I bought more than I should have.
Gold Mega Man?
No, just the blue one.
Well, see, what killed it for me is I was buying the ones I liked as they come out. And then they started this whole scarcity thing around the holidays.
Yeah.
And I think Ike was the first one that I went to probably 6 stores in one day trying to find Ike, and no one had it. And the stores that did have it said we had 2, and there were people waiting on us to open and stuff like that. And then it's just like, I'm done with this. And I didn't buy an amiibo for a very long time.
It's like you were trying to buy drugs, like trying to get heroin.
There are certain people who, for them, that's a game and they like to play it. But I think that type of person is becoming increasingly less common in the internet age. Like, people want to just be able, I just want to be able to click on something and have it come to my door. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have to jump through a bunch of hoops for it. And so I kind of was the same way, but then, I was just, basically made a rule for myself that I would never pay over retail, or at least over retail plus a couple bucks, because I figure shipping or whatever.
Same here.
But I know.
And so you guys have been able to hit that, right? I never really did. Like if you waited long enough, you could snap it up at a reasonable price. Sorry.
Or you forget about it.
People on eBay will buy a $20 McDonald's gift card for $19.99. So you better guarantee there's somebody out there snapping up Amiibo just so they can sell them for whatever profit they can get, especially after the news came out that like these things were rare and selling like hotcakes.
Yeah.
The thing I didn't like was like, you can only buy this Amiibo at this specific store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One at the store.
The exclusives were crappy.
Well, that was a way for Nintendo to leverage their relationships with those companies and say,
that's right.
Amiibo is the hottest thing right now, and we're going to give you one that you can only get at GameStop. Like the, did you hear about this Diablo Treasure Goblin Amiibo is going to be GameStop exclusive and will not be carried in stores. It's online exclusive only.
Yeah.
I won't buy it.
It's going to be rare as hell.
That just immediate. Yeah, exactly. But I don't want it. That's immediately just turned me off. Like I won't. They'll probably, like everything I've ever tried to order from GameStop, they try to charge me like a $5 handling fee in 2018. Or I mean, even 20 years ago, it's like, what are you kidding me? So I would imagine they're going to tack that on to the Amiibo. I'm not even going to bother to find out because I won't deal with it. They can have their Amiibo. I was totally going to buy it. Like seriously, if I was, if I could pick it up at Best Buy, especially for the 20% off, even at retail, I would have picked it up. I have some allegiance to Blizzard. I actually was wearing a Blizzard jacket all day today.
It looks like it had a fancy box and everything.
It looks really nice. But
I won't deal with GameStop to get it. Sorry.
Well, see, that's the thing too. These others are coming out, or I say others, these later Amiibo, even like the Splatoon ones. I guess that's the first ones I noticed doing this. They come out in such limited numbers, and you really have to put forth effort to seek them out if you want them.
Yeah.
And that is kind of a turn off to me. I'm over the going to stores trying to find an Amiibo. It's like if I don't see it, I'm not getting it.
I missed the Splatoon 2 ones. Yeah, I just totally missed them. I've looked for them. I just, I wasn't watching the website at the right time, and I never saw them in a store. So, the Metroid ones, same thing. They were out. They came back out like a couple months later for a minute, and I just got lucky. But yeah, if you didn't nab them the moment they came up, that's it. So the Splatoon 2 ones, I imagine, are kind of rare too, because I never saw them.
I only saw them when I went to pick up Splatoon 2 in store on release day. I bought a physical copy and I saw them and I thought, no, those things will be around. And I had just bought the Callie and Marie, a little while back at a big discount. I thought, I'm not going to pay retail for them. I'll just wait.
You know what?
And it was expensive.
Yeah.
I might have seen them up. Yeah, and I think you're right. I think I might have seen them up like on Best Buy once and thought, hesitated, gone. Yeah.
I mean, that's $40 worth of Amiibo, basically. So.
Yeah, it was expensive, and it was like, I'm but I'm irritated. I would have gotten them. They're cool. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day,
my local Best Buy still has that KK Slider 3-pack. They're trying to blow it out for $25 or $24.99, but it's been as low as $3 when it's on sale.
Oh wow!
I haven't checked prices, but mine still has them.
I've never seen an Amiibo for that low in store.
They're never getting their shelf space back.
All right. Well, moving on with the Smash Direct, the next big reveal really was Smash Spirits. So, this is the point when I become very disinterested in Smash Ultimate. They've took out trophies, and then there's just all these Smash Spirits that you stick onto your fighters. So
spooky.
Yeah, Sakurai said not the spooky kind. But
Well, I'm just
It's an
excited to.
RPG.
Yeah, I'm
climate.
kind of excited to see an involved single player mode. Because we just didn't really have one. We had mini games in the last version, right?
Okay.
Well, yeah,
True.
I guess so. On the
Well, I
Wii
didn't
U.
buy the last version, so.
well, 3DS sort of had its own thing, but I liked it.
That's true. You know what? You're right. 3DS had more of that
Yeah.
than Wii U did.
The Wii U one had like little challenges, basically, right?
Yeah, it was a bunch of little. To me, they were just kind of little mini games, kind of.
But see, those will be back as well. They will have challenges.
Which is
will be
fine.
included.
Some of those were cool. I mean, that's fine. But I missed, what was the good one? Was it on Melee? Who had the cool? There were a couple of them that had cool single player modes.
Hey
Like,
man, everybody loves the break the stage and the home run derby stuff.
Yeah, true.
Cheesing it with Ganondorf.
Yeah. I didn't know that was a thing, but yes, I did that.
Yeah.
So anyway, moving right along, Jason. Or not.
We're all very
Yeah.
excited for this game.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, some kind of involved single player is nice. Maybe it won't suck. Maybe it will. I'm already in for the money. I'm still hoping that I can go score the box set on release day, because I pre-ordered the game and then the controller separately. But I'm assuming if I can pre-order the box set, I get a much larger discount, right? Because the controller, I'm not getting a discount on. I'm only getting a discount on the game if I get them separate. But if I get them together, I get 20% off the whole lot.
Oh, you can use that 20% on it?
I'm hoping. I haven't been able to actually add it to my cart to find out, and they don't tell you anymore on the site, like all that stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't tell you until you're in the checkout.
Yeah, so I wasn't able to add it to my cart, so I don't know, but I assume, and I'm gonna try when I go to pick up on release day. I hope so. Because the controller's nice enough, and you're correct about white controllers. I have had white controllers in the past, so I know what's going to happen to it.
No eating Cheetos.
But it'll be cute for a while, until my kid gets a hold of it for a minute. But I'm buying the game. I'm on board. I got the family thing. Oh, and it comes out after Thanksgiving, which sucks a dick, right? So now it'll be a year old when I bring it to my yearly family event to play 8-player Smash with everybody. I almost would bring the Wii U this year. Just say, hey, look, I got Smash a couple weeks early. They won't know the difference. Hey, no, it's the same game you played 2 years ago. No, it isn't. Sure it is.
I mean, they wouldn't know the difference if they played the Switch one, probably.
They wouldn't. I could just set the Switch in the front, so they think it's, actually have the Wii U plugged in behind it. Here you go. We're firing up Smash for Switch. Never mind the oversized Joy-Con. Those are the new ones. Those are the Joy-Con XLs.
Yeah.
But talking about playing multiplayer, that was another thing discussed. And I thought it was really interesting that they pointed out, we suggest you being polite and using a LAN connection if you're going to play online. I don't know how many of us are on LAN that would play that. I'm not.
Well, all they mean is to plug directly into your router, wired, as opposed to on wireless.
Right. But how many people?
Which is what I do. I do.
You're one of the only ones.
Yeah.
It just depends. I mean, a lot of people, their TV is in the same room as their Wi-Fi router.
Be polite and play docked.
Play docked and play with a wired connection.
Yeah.
I would say that's good etiquette for any team game, but it's practical for some people and not others. If you have the option, do it. Right? A lot of people, their Wi-Fi router, their TV is in the same room where their Switch is, and it's a $12 adapter on Amazon. And I notice a significant difference, at least in my house, because I'm kind of far. I'm on the opposite corner of the house from the Wi-Fi router. And I notice a significant difference wired in, and I'm just going through these crappy power line adapters but it's still better than the Wi-Fi. So I recommend it to anybody, who will listen, honestly, or has,
I'm sure it's
the
better
ability
and
to
more
do it.
stable.
But right, it's all practicality. If you're, if you just don't, like in my case, I got the power line adapters and they work, but they only work if like the plugs in the room that, that you're trying to use them in are on the same circuit as the plugs in the room where the router is, or whatever. So they won't necessarily work for everybody, but if you have the option, I do highly recommend it. The power line adapters, they're also cheap. You can get a set for $20 or $30 off a Newegg or something.
And I remember the online being like almost unplayable on the Wii U. And I don't know how often I ever took it on the 3DS, but I'm sure it was close to that experience.
I played
Maybe that's
online.
Why go ahead.
I played online versus one friend quite a bit, and that wasn't bad. But anytime you just went to the general online section, it was pretty lousy.
But I know just trying to play NES games with Jason is usually pretty unpleasant for us both. Via the online. Yeah, we can't get it to not mess up. We can't finish a game of anything. We can't even finish a round of Dr. Mario without errors.
This is news
or
to
you've
me.
been disconnected.
It's awful. I haven't touched it. Oh wow! So the fuck are we paying $20 a year for?
You should try connecting with us. I've played with Max and Mo, and both times it was unplayable.
But I've heard from everyone else that it's flawless, that it's perfect. So
from Nintendo's paid employees that tweet.
Yeah, basically from news sites. Those people. Or I think a lot of these podcasts and videos out there, they're like, this is a great service and playing online so awesome. I've probably never actually taken it online themselves.
Or did for 5 minutes and thought, hey, this is great, and then never touched it again. Go ahead.
I was going to say, if you're new to listening to the show and you're looking for some people to, say, oh yeah, we're psyched for this, you are listening to the wrong podcast. We're just going to give it to you straight as we see it, as per our experience. So.
Yeah, we love to hate Nintendo.
Yeah. We still love them at the end of the
day.
Yeah,
we're all pretty much exclusive Nintendo users. We just don't know why.
No, I would say no. Jason plays a plethora of, a lot of Pokemon Go on his phone.
Yeah.
Which is connected to Nintendo.
Right. Well, yeah, but right. You play phone games. They all happen to be Nintendo phone games. You play a lot of that Fire Emblem one too, don't you?
I used to do it.
Yeah, it did. Max, you got multiple consoles, right? So we do have stuff to compare to. Like Max is one of those obsessive Skyrim people that plays it on every console, right?
Yeah.
So
I had to buy it again last year for Switch.
And you get your share of cross-platform ports on your Switch now, Mo. Right?
Yeah.
Fortnite's not really a Switch game.
Yeah, not really.
Basically, anyone we can find who is not playing on Switch or does not have another console and it happens to be playing on Switch is, everyone else says, this is better on Xbox. This is better on PlayStation. This is better somewhere else. There are a few people that don't have other options that are like, this is great.
But you know where it's better than Xbox and PlayStation? On the toilet.
I suppose so. Although I don't know. I've never actually played it on the toilet. But it is a possibility.
Yeah.
That's the point, right? It's
you can take it out of the room you're in, yeah.
That's the standard argument for the Switch is sure it's not quite an Xbox or a PlayStation, but it's pretty friggin' close and it's portable. So
you can play it while you're watching TV.
I'll settle for 30 frames per second on some of that stuff.
Well, before we wander away from Smash Direct, there was one other little add-on to this online features. There's a lot of other online features that Sakurai went in depth with, and I'm sure everyone has seen the direct who's interested. But I want to bring up Nintendo Switch Online app. Basically two things. One, they're again plugging it. They even reuse that NES Online little video with Luigi and Mario and Toad playing. But that's going to be your source for voice chatting, and as I understand it, only with friends. So, and they are going to add a second feature called Smash World, which I referenced in the opening, in 2019, which is basically a video service for sharing videos and watching videos of Smash. And I noticed you can record replays and make videos in game, but they never mention sharing them.
So they want to offload, those kind of services to services like Twitter and whatever, because they don't want to deal with it. But now they want to make their own video sharing service for Smash videos.
Yes.
Which is it, guys?
Yeah. Well, this stuff's just too good to let anybody have it.
Yeah, we'll see.
People will be lined up all over the world to watch this.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Smash. I want to watch people play Smash Brothers.
It's going to be just as jam packed with people queuing up to watch it as the 3DS image shares.
Oh yeah. Now,
to me, there's a fine line between when Smash comes out and it's going to get a lot of buzz. Nintendo stock goes up, and then people start complaining about the online, and it is ultimately an online disaster. Stock goes down. So if you play your cards right, you can make a lot of money in that. Because I'm sure that's going to happen. Not that I'm in any position to give any sort of financial advice whatsoever. That was a total side random topic. Anyway, you were saying, Jason.
I actually had a lot of fun sharing videos, mostly playing on the 3DS. From that version of Smash, playing with friends. Just posting it for just us to watch. Have fun looking at your fight and like, whoa, I really missed that or something, and enjoying that. But I don't really want to watch random people's Smash videos at all.
Yeah, I think Nintendo,
like
I get the
Mario
feeling
Kart
that Nintendo thinks people are way more into this than they are. Like, I don't think the general public is that interested in watching this stuff. I think it's a very, very niche group of fighting game fans that like Smash that would just watch this stuff for days, but we'll see.
So you think this won't do any of the video share like we have with some of the other games where you can post a quick video to Twitter?
It might.
Because I thought that was just free advertising.
Yeah. Definitely. Hopefully they'll have it.
The way he spoke
should,
in the
but
direct.
Everything should.
Right. It was clear. I mean, it wasn't clear in the direct, but from what he said, I took it that there would not be sharing outside of the app. I don't know. I think it's definitely a mistake if they go that route.
Yeah. Just have to wait to find out.
All right.
Why is it Nintendo's always intentionally vague about stuff like this? We always go in with a sense of, I'm probably not going to like this.
I don't know.
And then usually we're right. Or at least, you're usually at least right enough that it's like, damn it, Nintendo. Like, I saw this dumb idea coming, and it still came.
I don't know. They're just trying to make people get excited for it, or I don't know.
Nintendo
why.
does things a little bit differently. Reggie says, it's got to have that Nintendo twist.
That secret sauce.
Which is shit.
It's got to have those two steps. Yeah, exactly. The Nintendo. That's a perfect metaphor. That's right. This is Nintendo's secret sauce. You don't want to know what the secret sauce is. You really don't want to know what the secret sauce is.
It doesn't smell good. It doesn't look good. Everyone complains about it, but you're gonna buy it because, damn it, it's Smash.
Yeah. Speaking of buying it because of Smash, the last turnoff for me with the Ultimate Direct was the addition of DLC. I mean, I thought Sakurai had said at some point that they weren't doing it, and now they're saying we are doing it. But the real clincher here was that they want you to buy not only one pack of DLC ahead, but this whole set of 5 for $25. And they aren't announcing what's going to be in it, other than it will be 5 characters, 5 stages, and 5 groups of music.
He's confident that you trust him enough to just buy these.
You know what? In the Wii U era, I might have just done it.
Yeah.
Back when the Wii U one came out, I think I would have done it. But now,
how much of the Wii U ones did you buy? Did you buy? You probably bought all.
I bought. I bought the characters and the stages. I didn't buy any of the stupid costumes or that kind of crap.
Yeah.
I just bought the fighters. And I don't know if I would have bought the fighters, but we got Mewtwo free, so it was like, oh no, I feel like I have to get the rest.
Yeah.
But that said, there's goodwill that has been lost. And a few years ago, I would have totally been on board. All right, Daddy Nintendo, give me something good for my $25. But now it's like, no, you show me what you got first.
Yeah. And they're calling it Smash Pass.
Yeah, that.
I also have a feeling that if you wait, they'll release all the stuff individually for like the same price. You know what I mean? They seem to have been doing that lately. You get no deal when you buy the bundle.
Or next Christmas, you'll get Ultimate Deluxe, which will be the disc that has, or the cartridge that has it all on there.
Yeah, special edition.
Probably.
Yeah.
Game of the Year edition.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned those outfits, and that's the bonus content you get. Is one of the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 outfits?
Yeah.
For buying the Smash Pass.
And the Piranha Plant, or is that just pre-order?
Well, I
That's
didn't really
register. You have to register your game by like January 1st or something.
Yeah, you have to register through My Nintendo, and
it's an incentive to get people sign up through My Nintendo because
as an
nobody
incentive
cares
to get
about My
people
Nintendo.
To buy the game early.
Yeah, because he says, "I hope you'll please pre-order."
Well, that too, but if you just have to register, but by January, that means just be a launch or launch window purchaser, and then come on, do something on My Nintendo because it's flailing and it sucks.
It is pretty awful. And I saw Big Daddy Sakurai said that they've already decided everything's finalized on which characters are coming. So please, no suggestions. It's already been finalized. Do you think Waluigi will be there?
If they don't, I mean...
Riots.
What I was wondering, do you think there'll be a Bowsette?
No.
No.
Not after the internet's response. If there even was going to be one, it's not going to happen now.
But I know of a certain subreddit that would be very interested in that amiibo.
Is it the figurines one or the?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But no, I don't think so. I'm almost certain at least one of them's going to be something like another company's property. Maybe Banjo will be there.
Maybe the leak was true, and that's the...
Yeah, those are your DLCs, not the people that are going to be announced now.
Oh, it could be somebody from like Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah. Although if you got the Chorus Kids as a DLC that you paid for, how pissed would you be?
What about Funky Kong as a Shadow Fighter for Donkey?
Funky mode.
But he just flies around the screen. He's easy mode.
Yeah. He's just like the Smash for like Game and Watch last game where he was just the octopus, so you just had to touch people and they would get knocked off the stage. When you hit the Smash ball, it's just funky mode. You're just flying around on a surfboard. Anybody touch?
That sounds like a great character.
I think it's time.
He'd be top tier in professional Smash leagues.
Yeah, he'd be big on the competitive scene. It's Funky versus Funky. What's gonna happen? First touch wins. A lot of double eliminations.
Yeah, definitely.
They're on their 52nd round. Here we go again.
That would be a great E3 tournament to watch.
Yes. Reggie would play his Funky Kong. And he's going to kick your ass.
Because that's what he's about.
Yeah. Do they have an easy mode for Smash?
No.
And Mario Kart, got like the assisted steering and stuff.
Mario
they'll have
Odyssey had the.
they'll have like automatic blocking.
Oh yeah. For the kiddos out there, first Smash.
Meh, Smash. Who needs it?
There is one last little facet that we must mention about the Direct, and that is the new adventure mode, World of Light, and the amazing song that came out with it, which I believe is called Lifelight or something like that.
It's great.
It's awful.
Z,
We'd play it for you, but we get content struck.
Yeah, I remember Z's reaction when he first saw that.
Oh yeah, I was aghast. I was watching that Smash video, kind of half watching it during the workday, I think, and I just was like, because it was after the fact. That was part of the Smash Direct, but I didn't watch it till a few days later. But yeah, it was that hit, and it's just awful. It's just utterly awful, and it's like the Mario thing was a novelty thing, and that was cool. Don't do it again. Don't ever do it again.
It's going to be in every game from here on out, and I'm waiting on it to announce it to be on iTunes. You can buy it
for $1.
In my retro travels, I ran across Sonic CD, which had a similar. Totally made me feel like Nintendo was spooning off of Sega for this one. But right, if you guys have never heard the Sonic CD soundtrack, the Sonic song with lyrics.
The Sonic Boom? Is that the one?
Did Sonic Boom have one? No. I'm talking original Sonic CD on the Sega CD. But there probably was a terrible one now that you mention it for Sonic Boom, because I remember Sonic Boom was supposed to launch a cartoon series. I don't know if it ever did, because the game was so terrible. It was also supposed to launch a series of games. To the best of my knowledge, they never made a second one, correct?
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure the Sonic Boom series was supposed to be like the big reinvention of Sonic, and that first game was fucking terrible. But there was supposed to be an anime series. There was supposed to be a whole series of games that follow it. Like, it was supposed to be a big deal. That's why it's Sonic Boom: Rise of Lyric. It was going to be a series of Sonic Boom whatever. And it just never happened because it was awful.
You're talking about Sonic CD, right?
Yeah, I'm jumping between the two, but I'm talking about
CDs. The main theme is titled Sonic Boom. That's the name of the song. I remember that song.
Oh, you're kidding me. Okay, so Sonic Boom, not to be confused with the
Sonic
horrible game that came out a few years ago. Yeah. That my friend, the Thoughtless Gift Giver, gave me when it was like $20. And it was worse than Sonic Forces, to my knowledge. But anyway, I didn't realize. I noticed the lyrics say Sonic Boom in them a few times. And I thought, oh, that's funny. I didn't realize that's the name of the song.
Yep.
But right, it's still not as bad as this awful Smash shit. I really hope that, like, when I go to start the game, that I'm not greeted with that.
It'll be on there every time. You know it will be.
But yeah, like Callie and Marie that you can't turn off. That would ruin the game for me if you or at least can't skip. Like, I just want to be able to not make it skip to the point where it just won't start. I don't want to hear the first note of it every time I start the game. That's going to kill me. We'll see.
Max, what do you think about the Fire Emblem song that is available both in English and Japanese on Fire Emblem Heroes?
Japanese one probably ain't so bad.
Yeah. It's okay. I guess I didn't pay too much attention to the lyrics.
Hearing Japanese lyrics spoken in English are just right. It's kind of like how if you watch a Spanish soap opera and you can't understand it, you can still kind of get the gist of what's going on, and it kind of shows you how stupid Americans soap
Yeah.
operas are.
Yeah.
Because because it's like, oh yeah, I can totally follow exactly what's going on here. I don't have to understand what these people are saying. This is really dumb. It's the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just going off on a topic.
No worries, man. Those songs, they kind of scar you for life. I've tried to forget the Jump Up Superstar, and now I'm sure this Life Light will be popping up more and more. I'll be equally happy to get it out of my head.
What?
Yeah, and the lyrics.
That's the thing. You're going to keep running into it. People will be reposting it on Twitter because they're, Nintendo paid followers. I'm like I kept hearing. I heard Jump Up Super once was too much for Jump Up Superstar.
Yes,
but I heard it far more times than that, or at least parts of it.
Yep, me too. They have been a
damn it!
big
Now
hit.
it is stuck in my head.
I'm trying not to think about it because it will get stuck in your head. But it's been pretty big hits on YouTube so far. Both the Smash Direct, the World of Light trailer, and the vocal track for Life Light have all had over 1 million views.
I remember, when I first heard that the whole thing about how politicians keep their book on the bestseller list because interest groups will just buy hundreds of thousands of copies of their book with, campaign donations or whatever.
Right.
So I don't buy any of that. If it's up on iTunes or whatever, like that, there's Nintendo has to be manipulating that somehow. I'm convinced, because who the hell would buy that?
Yeah.
Maybe people tuned in, watch the Smash Direct, and they've got some kind of tricky autoplay set up so you're automatically watching the other two videos and you have to try to click it to discontinue it, and
maybe
still gets them the view.
Yeah, there's no actual purchases of the song, right? It was just plays
people
of the video.
Listening. Yeah.
People watching it on mute, I bet.
That's what I do.
They could count all the copies of Odyssey sold as selling a copy of the song because it appears in the game.
By the way, I still never turned on the power in New Donk City.
Wow. Oh, you should have done that.
You're missing out. It's because if you get that sweet 8-bit section, and right now if you do it because it's the 1-year anniversary of Odyssey, they've added a little thing where they've added like a ton of Captain Toad and 8-bit Luigi's to it that you like ground pound the ground during that level, and they each give you like 1,000 coins or something crazy, 200 coins, whatever. But you get it. You basically end up with like 4,000 coins by the end of it. So,
well, I'm gonna go pop that in right now. Thank you.
Get yourself an outfit on Nintendo.
That's right. But speaking of the Direct, after the Direct, we did have Treehouse, and as we were looking at the videos on YouTube last night, it was a whole lot of Treehouse. Did we decide it was like
and a
2.5
lot
hours?
of Smash.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like a bunch of it was Smash, so they're like, now that you've watched 40 minutes of Smash, here's another hour of Smash. Like, is it possible they're overdoing it, or not really, because nobody's watching this anyway? I mean, they also did Yoshi's Woolly World and some Diablo.
Yeah. I think that was all the videos, though. It was those 3. Or all of the focus.
Wow.
Yeah. Some heavy content.
Yeah,
I was
Alright.
watching somebody play an hour of Smash, really make you want to buy the game. That makes you just think, I've seen it.
I
I'm gonna
get for
play it.
certain people. No, I mean, the only people that I would think would want to watch an hour of Smash would be people that would want to watch like an official competitive hour of Smash, not just two dudes from Nintendo playing it or whatever.
Talking about it.
I didn't watch.
I mean, they've really put a lot of stock into that from E3, and I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't attract me to it. I don't want to watch hours of them playing, seeing them demo stuff and things that was interesting, but then they just way overdo it.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with Nintendo of Japan right now, but I subscribe to their YouTube channel,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been like Nintendo Live Week over there or something.
Yeah, that's an
So
event.
they've streamed like 2 hours worth of Mario Tennis Aces competitive play, and like 2 hours of Arms competitive play. It's like I don't know. And what's great is like the Arms tournament has had 1.9 thousand viewers. So 1,000 people on the internet, and the Mario Tennis is pulling in like 800 viewers. So obviously, there's a lot of demand for this stuff.
Yeah, we'll get to the financial results briefing in a minute, but they do mention that the Nintendo Live event going on.
One of
It's
the
one of their pillars, as we like to say, or as they like to say.
one of the thumbnails is amazing. Everyone can check that out. Look for Nintendo of Japan.
I did want to stick in one little news story here outside of these two major topics, and that is
Stick it in.
that YouTube soon you'll be able to watch it on the Switch, maybe. People have been
Oh, yeah.
finding it under recommendations on Nintendo.com, so it's coming, maybe. And as Mo predicted so long ago, it's the year of exclusivity that we've never been officially confirmed. Seems very likely.
Well, it's funny because I actually put it into one of those calendar online deals. Where you're like, how many days is it between this date and this date? It's 364. So not exactly a year, but pretty much. But yeah, that's pretty close to a year. Although Nintendo hasn't said anything about it, which is weird. If it's supposedly coming this week,
Yeah, the 8th is which
the
would
day
be.
the day this releases.
Yep. So those of you in the future, you will know if we got YouTube. But Nintendo's like that anymore. They might very
Yeah.
well drop this in, the day before, the day of, and say, by the way, you can download YouTube today.
Yeah, maybe they'll have a special direct, a YouTube direct, where they tell you what YouTube is and how it works.
You can watch our Nintendo Direct on your Switch
Yeah.
in the YouTube app.
Well, you can't watch it anyway because they always put it in the news section.
News section.
Now you can
That's
watch it live.
That's right. You can add even more stress to their servers.
Yeah, I'd be all for it. I'll watch YouTube videos on my Switch.
Yeah.
While I'm pooping. Still want Netflix, but whatever.
Yeah, I still want Crunchyroll.
You got a long way to wait.
Yeah, it'll come out after everything else.
You'll have a comic book app before Crunchyroll.
That's right.
Maybe.
Probably.
I haven't heard anything about that recently.
It was all in the news. Everybody in their neighborhood had a comic book app they were bringing to Switch, but
Yeah. Things come, things go. I mean, Paw Patrol on a Roll dropped last week, and I haven't heard a peep. I'm sure it's great. Anyway.
all right. So, moving on to the financial results briefing. As always, or as tradition on our program here, we are going to be streaming this to you. The actual briefing, so you can follow along on screen. So if you're not looking at your screen, I want to pull it up now and read along with us. Okay, so basically we got the opening up here, and this is the first briefing, I believe, with new President Shintaro Furukawa. So that's pretty exciting. But he goes into the 2 points today, which will be Nintendo Switch business update, and of course the outlook for the holiday season. All right, so start off with the Switch. Kind of tells us about these evergreen titles, which is something that they keep bringing up. But I like that he mentions we are in a very favorable position as we enter the holiday season. I don't know that everyone would agree with that.
They think
Doing
Smash
great.
is huge. They think
Yeah.
Pokemon's huge.
Yeah.
They think these are both going to be they think they're winning Christmas with these two games.
Yep. All the kids are gonna want Pokemon, and all the grown-ups are gonna want Smash.
But they're not really talking about Pokemon and Smash here. They're just talking about their evergreen titles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
think
they
that's-
think Legend of Zelda and Odyssey and all this other stuff, which I mean, it's good. It does build up it's nice to have a library of quality
Yeah.
games. Yeah.
But it's right. They're like, oh, we got Zelda and Mario that came out that are now over a year old. Right. These are the games that would be $20 on any other system
Yeah.
at this age. But they are Nintendo Evergreen titles. I'll give them that. But we're riding on this, and look what we got in the pipe.
And they also have to talk about here. I always love the photos that they include in their presentation of all the people playing the Nintendo Switch. Like, none of us play it. I mean, I'm all the time seeing teams of soccer players, sitting around after practice saying, I've got my Nintendo Switch, let's play.
Yeah. Kids that young, they all have Switches. And how can they see
Oh.
the screens in that sunlight?
It melted in the
I know.
sun.
And look how far this poor kid is from the screen.
And
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Look
He's
at
young,
that.
he's got
Look
good
at that.
vision.
That looks Photoshopped to me. Doesn't it look Photoshopped to
Yeah,
you?
it looks really weird.
That
Yeah.
doesn't look like it's sitting on the bench right. That looks pasted in there.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It's at an odd angle.
Or when you and your girlfriend are sitting on each other's laps to play in handheld mode.
You can't really sit on the other's lap because you got to be sitting on the
tabletop
very
or whatever,
edge of the
Yeah.
edge of the couch.
It looks really uncomfortable.
Tabletop is dead. Nintendo, just
Like-
let it go.
He's saying, I'm beating her because
It's
I
not
can
for very
actually
small children. Very small
Tabletop.
children can sit with it. Like I've set it up on a little like coffee table.
Yeah.
Kids just sit on the
You
floor.
bump it, yeah.
They're like a foot from it. Yeah, as long as they don't bump it.
But tabletop is really for a demonstration at a kiosk in a mall.
Or for
So-
1-2 switch.
Yeah, I guess.
where you don't really need the screen.
Yeah, basically, which you kind of don't. I mean, and again, right? A lot of the games they weren't really games; they were just gimmicks. But I mean, I busted it out at restaurants and stuff with people. And
Yeah.
you could just leave the Switch on the table just flat and not really have to look at it for most of it. You're just waiting to hear it say draw or whatever.
Yeah.
And here's
That's
these.
what Nintendo wants you to do.
Here's a Switch party that I never get invited to.
Yeah.
I don't know where this person is playing. And here's Z Stream to one day have it on a projector in his home.
Oh, I'm totally having a Switch party on Friday.
How are you?
See,
Yeah.
and none of us were invited.
Yeah.
Who wants to buy a plane ticket? Come to my party.
Well,
'Cause
I
you're-
think it would only be polite for the invitee to provide
to shell out to fly it.
transportation. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's their requirement. So anybody's welcome to come if they want to
Yeah.
buy a plane ticket to fly out here because I am not made of money. But yeah, you would all be welcome at a Switch party, of course.
Awesome.
As long as we brought our own Joy-Con.
Yeah. And
No,
your
I-
Switch, because he probably really wants to try out that Mario Party thing.
Yes, I actually do. I have not yet, but I think you guys would all have to have a cartridge.
Oh,
Yeah.
So you
I'm
expect us to
sure.
buy a plane ticket and Mario Party? That's
I know.
just too much.
pray I don't alter it any further. That's foolish, Vader.
Well, I know. And the funny thing is, really, Mario Party sounds like the bigger ask.
Yeah.
At least we would get from a plane ticket. We would have the sights and experiences of
Of a
going to
travel.
a new place. Yeah,
But
Mario
$60.
Party, we'd have a constant reminder that we have no friends in real life.
that's exactly right.
That's it. No, but it's Mario Party. God, if they would do it online, if they would just make it
Yes.
available online, God,
You
You
can
could
even
bring it to
play
the homeless
Risk.
shelter you're volunteering at on Thanksgiving.
that's the dumbest thing ever. I mean, I have a wife to play it with, but we've only played it a little bit because it's for even just two people. It gets old after we've done boards now, and it's like okay, now it's just grinding to unlock the last 2 or 3 mini games, and we're kind of over it. But it's like, hey, if I could play online with people, 4 people, you know what I mean? It's always me and the wife and 2 computers because it's always got to be 4 people.
Right.
If I can invite you guys to join in, that would be a hell of a lot. I would have played twice as much of that, but then you guys would have had to buy it. And
If we could play online, that makes it much more appealing.
Yeah, if it was online, then you would be. Yeah, it's true.
I would have considered it.
Yeah, or more likely to be. If you could play the
That
whole
wouldn't be a Nintendo-like twist.
But I don't even understand. Like, why not? What the hell's the problem? Well, what was the big hurdle they couldn't get over?
It's because you wouldn't think it's as great of a game unless you were in the room looking at your friends' facial reactions and having a bonding experience together. Nintendo wants you to play the game the way they want you to play it. And they feel like any other situation would be a subpar experience. I think that's honestly it.
Nintendo's working hard to keep us from being shut-ins.
It's the same reason that Grizzco is not an all the time mode in Splatoon. They want you to play it the way they want you to play it.
That's right.
But it's like what they're not like people. This is a thing. People sit and chat and play board games online. This is like Tabletopia and stuff on Steam. It's a huge thing.
Well,
and
you can play Trivial Pursuit, Risk, Monopoly. Almost any of those type of games are available as online play. Uno.
You can gamble with real money and play poker over the internet.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I mean, it's. I mean, they have the definitive video game board game.
Yeah,
and it's just like how I know Pokemon will never become an MMO, and you know what I mean. It's like they have these things. It's like this is obviously what you should do with it. People have been asking for a Pokemon MMO literally for decades at this point. Well, a decade. And it's just Nintendo's like, no. Like I said, you'll play our game the way we want you to play it. And they
should hire us to be a market research firm, and we can come up with a poll like, how likely were you to buy a Mario Party game with no online functionality? Or limited online functionality versus if you could play it with all of your friends online.
Or strangers.
I really hope sales of Mario Party are not very good. Have you seen any numbers on those yet?
We'll be getting to that shortly.
Oh, okay.
But as it says here, anytime, anywhere, with anyone, just not online.
As long as they're in the same room.
And they have the same game.
Yeah, as long as you're
at the same time.
You're in the same physical location, yeah.
All right.
It's the evolution of Street Pass.
Oh.
Only with human interaction.
Well, no, they just expanded it to mean any of their games. You have to be street passing someone to play with them.
All right, next we're going to talk about the several initiatives that the company has undertaken since Kimishima was in office. And of course, the first one is encouraging long-term play with Nintendo Switch. So they're talking about you're updating free content for these games. You can keep playing like the Splatoon 2. Well, I guess they're not all free content. But, well,
content updates,
No,
add-on
Octopath
content.
isn't.
I guess it's both. I thought it was one. I guess I misread the slide earlier. Yep. So, yeah. It's more about keep playing the games you got.
I know people are just going back and back and back to that Kirby game since they keep adding more characters that everybody loves.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was looking at that, and I was like, what is this game? Talking about this Kirby game right here. It's Kirby Star Allies.
Yeah.
I didn't even recognize it. That's how far removed from my memory it is.
But Kirby's not even on there.
You don't recognize the rolling grimace head with the long tongue?
No.
I thought it was Dragon Quest. I thought it was a slime. That was literally my first thought. I recognized Meta Knight and Waddle Dee and King DDD, but my first thought is that's Dragon Quest. Yeah. But anyway, I live in a different world. Oh, here's where they're talking about. This is the section I was talking about. Ongoing online events, in-game online events. Of course, talking about Splatfest and the Mario Tennis Aces tournaments, which none of us have participated in.
I participated in one of those ARMS Punch Fest things. It was an embarrassment for me.
Yeah, but this is like an official online tournament. Like, the thing is, it's like Nintendo always misses the mark with stuff that's so basic. And with like, when they started that Versus website or whatever on Twitter, as like their competitive gaming account, nobody really is playing competitive Mario Tennis Aces. Like, that's my game. Put me up against the world. Yeah. And if they are, nobody's watching it.
I love that they're talking about in-person events, non-online events, and about there are fun experiences that can draw crowds of spectators.
Especially ones who have My Nintendo and a hunger for a cup or a rally towel.
Or a pin.
I'd say that's exactly what a lot of it is. This is E3, though, I'm pretty sure. Is it not? The one on the far left? They might all be. Like this is probably E3 as well.
But if they come to your mall, you're bound to draw a crowd of looky-loos.
That's right. But crowds of people can gather to feel the energy of our game communities. But even though these are offline events, they are streamed live over the internet. So it was from E3. It basically admits it right here. All right, here's the Nintendo Live that we were talking about just a little bit ago. So this is the events they're planning going forward, and by going forward, they mean the next week. This was from October 31st. So, but tournaments and demo events. By the way, there is a rumor coming out that the Smash Brothers Ultimate demo may be out at Best Buy on the Switch kiosk. I don't know how true that is or if it will happen. It's something to look out for if you haven't found it in the news. But here is where it always gets interesting. Nintendo's own style of charts.
Bar graphs.
Graphs, yes. So this chart shows Nintendo Switch sell-through in the markets of Japan, US, and Europe, and after in and after April of this year. As you can see, the sell-through dipped in April and May, but then grew especially in Europe and US markets, fueled by E3 in June and the dissemination of information surrounding that event. That's a great line right there.
Just the word dissemination is one of my favorites.
Dissemination, yeah. But as you can see here,
people were so excited, as we remember, being completely overwhelmed by how awesome the E3 was this year.
Yeah, I remember their stocks dropping, but according to them, the sales went up.
That's right.
Slightly. From 500 to 700,000. But anyway, they will continuously to work to encourage those who have purchased the games to continue to play their Nintendo Switch systems, which is something they definitely need to work on.
That's something they talked about in the Wii U era as well. Like Nintendo has this feeling that as long as they keep you interacting with it, you'll feel obligated to go out and buy more stuff for it. Like they're like, we don't even care if you're having fun with it, just so long as you're touching it every day. That's all we care about.
And you know what? Statistics probably do bear it out, though. I bet.
Yeah.
You know, that just it works out that way, and not everybody gets suckered, but enough people do. Kind of, you know.
It's the first console as a service.
But you know what? And to a degree, I can feel it, because the 3DS, for example, if there's something else to play on it, I will find, you know, I'll go do Badge Arcade or whatever. You know, I'll start doing that again. Like when I pick up Badge Arcade, it's because there was something else on the 3DS that made me go interact with it.
Well, things like YouTube and Netflix are those things that will keep you interacting with it when there's not games. And since they don't put stuff like Badge Arcade on it yet.
Yeah. Those definitely keep you interested in
Fortnite's our daily check-in.
Yeah.
If it
I'll
wasn't for Fortnite, it'd probably be back in sleep mode for long periods of time. Sadly.
Yeah, mine is, except when the wife wants to play Mario Party or Overcooked.
So moving on, they're talking about Nintendo Switch on a stable growth trajectory. Of course, they mention their evergreen titles again, which are the same 4 titles that have been out since the launch. It's the launch year. But this is a really interesting chart, I thought.
They do say all these titles were released last year, but are sustaining their sales momentum.
That's right. That's right. But I thought this was a really interesting sell-through chart. They're basically saying they've continued to grow for every title with no significant decline in pace. I just find that very hard to believe, although there definitely is a drop-off if you look at Zelda or something.
I would guarantee everyone who buys a Nintendo Switch probably buys one of these 4 titles.
Yeah.
If not 2.
Yeah.
Like my buddy was a late adopter. A friend of mine just relatively recently picked one up. He picked up Mario and Zelda, and that may be all he has on it for the next 6 months to a year. But for a lot of people, that might be all they need. You know.
Yeah.
Well, the next chart, they kind of go in the same direction we were thinking, and it is here's the attach rate for evergreen titles, comparing January and September of this year. So there was no significant change in console attach rates for these 4 titles, even though there was a combined sell-through of roughly 6 million systems in Japan, US, and Europe.
To me, Odyssey dropping is the most telling one. I don't think it quite lived up. It was, you know, Mo, you put the most time in it, but for me, it didn't quite. It just didn't quite grab me the way I thought it should have.
Yeah, same here.
I've got no love for Mario 64 though, so it was a big deal for me to spend that much time on a Mario 3D game.
But did you also spend that much time on a Mario 3D game because there wasn't anything else to play?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
for the most part.
Also, I bet you if you had been an old hardcore Mario 64 fan, well, I don't know. You might not have been. You might not have spent as much time with it. But like Splatoon has stayed even, Zelda's stayed even, Mario Kart 8 has stayed even. The Odyssey is the one that's dropped off. But it's still eking ahead of Mario Kart. So all right, I'll buy that. It's still got the Mario brand recognition, and I still buy these numbers, man, because like you said, Mo, most people are buying at least one of these when they're picking up the console. So
well, what else would they be buying? Unless
yeah,
they're buying third party something.
Yeah. How far behind do you think their 5th evergreen title is that it didn't make it on the list?
What is their 5th? Is it ARM?
Yeah,
it could be 1-2 Switch.
Oh yeah, They have mentioned 1-2 switch and other things. It would be half or probably a third of Splatoon 2, I would assume.
What other? Okay, so what AAA titles has Nintendo released now that we're thinking about it? There's these 4.
Yeah, I mean, there's
1-2
ARMS.
switch.
There's
and
ARMS, Donkey Kong,
Kirby, Mario
Well,
Tennis
Donkey
Aces.
Kong is a re-release, though.
Yeah.
Do we count that?
and I also don't count a 2D side scroller as a AAA game.
Yeah.
Nor would I
weren't they-
count 1-2 Switch.
I also don't see Donkey Kong as a system seller. Anyone like,
No.
I'm gonna buy it just for
No.
Tropical Freeze. Maybe a couple guys out there, but not the majority.
No, because anybody that it would have been a system seller for would have bought the Wii U, I would think.
Yeah, that's a
And
good
this-
point.
Yeah.
This was just a second round for people that thought, oh, cool, a new Donkey Kong Country game, and didn't get to play it because they didn't buy a Wii U. And I'm sure there's a fair enough portion of people that were like, oh, I would check that out, but I sure as hell am not buying a Wii U for it. Right? But there's probably people who picked up a Switch that now would pick it
the
up.
system
I
still
think
has
it
the
did
faint
well enough.
smell of winter on it for a little while longer, anyway.
It's like the new car smell is almost gone, but
Yeah.
it's still just a hint. Yeah, I get you. But it's
I remember hearing it was popular.
yeah. The
I've heard
Switch,
of it
that was all the
before.
buzz a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
I haven't really heard shit about it since, but maybe I'll still pick one up.
Maybe they could put a base on the back that turns it into a big fidget spinner.
Yeah. Those aren't I don't see those at 7-Eleven anymore, man. I think those have jumped the shark.
I see them
fidget
around every
spinners.
now and then, but
Really?
like on clearance racks and things like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
I haven't seen a kid using one in a while, thankfully.
I don't know that I ever saw anybody using one that wasn't
2-3
like
times.
standing in a mall trying to sell it.
And I love this next slide. I love that Mario Tennis Aces, to their financial investors here, they felt it was important enough to get its own slide.
That game is cursed, man. Nadal hurt his ankle, and he's had to end his season early. That was who
that's right.
pimping it, wasn't it?
I think, there was kind of injury involved, kind of like when Michael Jackson's hair caught on fire because of Pepsi. Is this the last big thing they released? It is, right?
I guess.
Yeah.
So that's why it's
Is
here.
this a big
Let's
thing?
count
Oh, that's a
online.
good point.
I mean, well, it's the last. It's the
Well,
last.
hold on,
thing
because
they released.
here comes the goods.
All right.
What's
This chart
chart?
compares the sell-through up to the present time for Mario Tennis Aces with the sell-through of past titles in the series.
The Wii U one is always the most fun to look at.
Look how successful this is compared to all the wildly successful.
So that's Wii U, 3DS, and Wii.
Wii at the top.
Yep.
3DS, and then Wii U, and then.
I mean, comparing it to the Wii is a good, right? That's got to that's got to get people's attention. Now that
This
said,
is the first time a Mario Tennis game has
Almost
topped 1 million units.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's double. Looking at the numbers
Milestone.
here, it's basically double of what the Wii,
The best,
previous
yeah.
most successful was.
More people would have bought it on the Wii if it didn't already come packed in with a tennis game.
yeah,
That's very true.
That's a huge point. And also, didn't it come out pretty late in the Wii's life cycle?
I think so.
Like I was not paying attention for like the last 2 or 3 years of the Wii. There was a lot of stuff I missed until Skyward Sword popped up, and then all of a sudden I was paying attention to my Wii again.
And I'm pretty sure the 3DS game was really late in the cycle. Didn't it come out around the same time as Mario Golf?
I think
I remember they were both out
I
around the
believe.
same time.
Yeah.
I remember looking at Mario Tennis and being like, meh, I'll just go with a golf.
Yeah.
And that's absolutely, I don't see, I mean, just A golf game is a more interesting game than a tennis game.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, at least from a video game perspective. You
Yeah,
you
from a
can
video
argue
game
about the
perspective,
sport
for sure.
itself,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but yeah, and that Mario Golf game, those of us who picked that up, I know I did. Mo did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Yeah,
No.
3DS Mario Golf is a good time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have
it's-
that
And
as well.
I do not
You
I
did?
do not
Yeah.
play golf games traditionally.
I think we all agreed on that guy, and that's that same Camelot that's been doing the same games since the Game Boy Color.
Now, yeah, the part that Jason has so kindly highlighted here.
Yeah,
When a
this
new
is-
title like this is a hit and becomes an evergreen title, well, how much time do we have to give it before we decide it's an evergreen
Evergreen.
title? I mean,
But also note their careful wording. They just say when a new title like this is a hit that becomes an evergreen title, it rounds out our software. It doesn't say
that's true.
that this is a hit. It's saying
Yeah.
when it does.
When a
Yep.
title like this, meaning a title we put out, becomes an evergreen.
Yeah.
But I don't expect. I mean, I expect this to have not have a slide next time,
no.
not be included, unless
Yeah.
they include it in the
Yeah.
million sellers on the Switch slide.
Yeah.
It's got Mario in it. They launched it right after the big Mario Odyssey game, so it's keeping Mario fresh. So, like, I see why it sold more than ARMS in the first place.
Yeah, they did an
But
online
otherwise-
thing. They spent more on marketing for this than they had
Definitely.
for, on a ton
Yeah.
of stuff.
And
Had
it
a
was-
celebrity endorsement. They really
It was-
made this thing to work.
The only thing that had come out in 6
Yeah.
months. Yeah.
Like Dark Souls. Oh, nope.
Like if
we'll
they
just-
swapped
here's
releases for this and ARMS, I would expect the numbers to be, you know what I mean? I would
Yeah.
expect ARMS
Mhm.
to have 2 million units and
Yeah.
or whatever, and Aces to have whatever ARMS has got.
You know, I seriously wonder about that. If ARMS was released during this second year drought, I just wonder
Oh, yeah.
how much of a success it would have been.
Way more, yeah.
Yeah. Way more.
There's no, yeah. I fucking again. 4 weeks after
Yeah.
Mario Kart and
Yeah.
4 weeks before Splatoon 2, it like
Nothing like dropping a new IP while everyone's either playing something that just came out or waiting for the next thing.
like to me they
Yeah.
knew it was going to tank, and that was why they did it. I have to think that maybe they kind of had an inkling this wasn't going to do as well as they thought, so they just decided
Inkling?
to throw it in
They
between.
had an inkling. Well played, sir.
Hey-o.
But
Well,
that
you
was,
notice
yeah,
the
that was
inkling. You
completely
notice
spontaneous.
the inkling is in Smash, and none of the ARMS characters until the DLC comes out are.
Well, they
None of the
are.
ARM characters ever will be.
Well,
I
there's
don't-
a what is
Trophy
that?
or
Spring
spirit?
Man. Well, there's spirits, but
'Cause
there's a.
Since he's dead, he gets his own spirit.
Oh, but isn't there a costume as well to play as Spring Man or as Ribbon Girl maybe? Yeah, for your Mii fighter, because everyone loves Mii fighters.
Make it go.
Again, it's not a bad game. It's just it should have been. This should have been their $30 or $40. For folks who don't want to spend a full $60 on something that are more interested in kind of a mid-range cost game. This should have been their $30 or $40 game. Should have come out during the drought. Like to me, they squandered an opportunity of something that could have done well. It could have done very well. I think there's enough to it. It's not a bad game. It's just, I don't know, man. They just a few tweaks and better marketing and better launch timing, et cetera, and it could have made them a lot more money than it did.
Yeah.
I think it could have sold a lot more copies among us, even if it came
I
out
would
at a
have,
different time.
Yeah.
like, I only ever put like 15 hours or maybe even 20 into it. And most of that's letting little kids play it. But like, I would have put a hell of a lot more time into it if we could actually like go online and do
Party
like
up and play.
team matches or whatever. Like, oh hell yeah. But even then, I don't think there was any real way to do that. The only way, as far as I could tell, that you could team up with a person is if you were in the same room with them.
Hmm.
That you would be permanently on a team. Otherwise, we would just be like constantly rotating. It'd be like turf war in Splatoon, where we're not
Right.
always on the same team. We're just constantly rotating against each other, with each other, et cetera, with a bunch of randos. Which still would have been better than just doing it by myself.
Yeah,
Jeez.
they had that sort
Yeah.
of online
Right.
playability.
But I didn't expect anybody. It was $60 at launch, was it not?
Yes.
I don't know why I paid $60 for it. I was on the Nintendo train at the time, but I don't fault anybody for looking at that and going, I'm not spending $60 for that.
Well, if I had
Um,
kids or if I went to parties like you did and brought my Switch, I would get it because that would be something everyone could play.
It's good.
Regardless
It's
of
very
cost.
accessible.
Yeah.
Whether it's drunk college age kids or drunk old people, because that's my family Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Or a bunch of smaller children. Folks do tend to gravitate to the one that you get to flail around like an idiot
Uh-huh.
for whatever reason. It's just flashbacks to the Wii, I guess. It'll get some play this Friday. It'll get some play on my Thanksgiving event, but otherwise it goes back in the case and I don't touch it. Not even
Yeah.
for their stupid fest things.
All right. So you guys were talking about online, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of course. Nintendo Switch Online, the paid service that expands the online functionality of the Nintendo Switch. Now, I take issue with that right there.
Yeah.
The paid service that expands the functionality of the Switch.
That's bullshit. Yeah, I call
Yeah.
bullshit too.
Doesn't expand anything. You just have to pay
No.
for what we were getting for free before.
Yeah, you're paying for something, and from reports you guys were saying, I don't remember if this was while we were streaming the cast or not. You guys were saying that your experience with the NES games has been pretty shoddy with the online.
Yeah.
Like this is their launch thing, and
Lots
come
of
on,
lag,
guys,
lots of disconnections.
it's NES games, guys. I mean, you obviously started small for a reason, and you can't even pull this off.
Not to mention the user interface sucks too. Like just getting it. Like I have to put myself online, then you have to join me, and I can password protect my NES session because you know how many of your people on your friend list are just going to try to bust in on your NES session.
Well, having the option is nice, but it's just if it. Kludgy interfaces is Nintendo's forte. Like I bitched and moaned to high heaven about the fucking Splatoon thing, about how you got to go hunt around to figure out what people are doing and see if you can join them, and then it's just asinine. And then to hear that, because I really haven't messed with the online much since I paid for it. I really just shouldn't have paid for it. I should have waited. But I haven't messed. The only reason I paid for it is because I buy the stupid controllers. But I have hardly used it. But to hear that I'm paying $20 a year for you guys having, and you guys have all played amongst each other. It's not like there's one of you that's got the problem. Like, it's, it's just flaky and shitty.
I think it's worse with, I always have the worst internet connection, so it's probably worse with me, but Jason's had it with Max as well.
Well, but we all get online right after that and play Fortnite, and we've all played Splatoon 2.
And we played Splatoon 2,
Yeah.
Like, how often do you guys ever have a hiccup online with Fortnite? I back when I played it, I never did.
Yeah, occasionally,
Very
very rarely.
Yeah.
I mean, even
usually
Splatoon,
just the software crashing. It's not anything to do with the internet connection.
Yeah, game freezes up, you have to leave and come back.
Yeah, it's a Switch specific bug or whatever. But yeah, it's even Splatoon, right? Splatfest here and there, we just come to expect that. But it always seems, I can't remember last time I got disconnected in the middle of a match.
Last time we played Splatfest, we played through until we were all king. We played, 4 to 5 hours?
Yeah.
How many disconnects did we have? Maybe one?
Yeah, maybe.
And that's playing as a team of 4 playing together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that I'll pay $20 a year for. Like, I'll take my knocks and say, okay, you guys provide a nice, good, solid networking experience, and all right, I'll float you $20. It's still cheaper than everybody else. But we'll see. I haven't had the experience, but I'm just, hearing about it from you guys. I'll have to try it myself, but that really, really, really disappoints me to hear that. And I expect bad things when Smash launches.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was really odd, the second half of this blurb here, as they said the launch went according to expectations.
Except
Except
that it went over like gangbusters. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, they were really surprised that people bought the family and individual memberships at a 12-month time frame.
Which I don't understand.
More than
why they're
half of the
surprised.
total. Yeah, like why? How did you guys not anticipate that?
Yeah.
It's more than it was anticipated. They did not
Okay.
expect over half the people to buy the best deal for $20.
Yeah, like a substantially better deal than going month to
Yeah.
month.
So that is technically bad for business. It would be much better if you were paying $4 a month.
That is true.
They really should have marketed this in some way that misled people into thinking that was the better deal.
On the flip side, though, I don't know how statistics work. Do people who bought a 12-month plan, are they more likely to buy a 12-month plan next year versus people who go month to month are more likely to stop paying in a few months?
It depends if they're still. Yeah, I mean, it depends. That's the thing is, if they're still playing a game that requires the service, then they'll probably pay.
But they're still playing Splatoon.
They know that they can take 6 months off as well. The way I see it, this is giving Nintendo a 1-year time frame to give me something else to keep me engaged in their online.
Yeah, I can agree.
Yeah. Aside from Splatfest, if I was not playing Splatfest once a month, I would have no reason to pay for the online subscription if I had bought it for a month. I would have no reason
because Fortnite doesn't need it. Yeah.
Yeah. The games aren't worth it.
Give me a Pokemon MMO. Give me some reason that I have to have your online service, Nintendo. There's no reason I have to have it. I don't care about playing against people online with Smash. Splatfests are great, but I could live without them. At this point, at least. Mario Kart 8, I don't have any. I mean, aside from us occasionally getting on and playing, which we can't do because not all of us opted for the deluxe. Now we have a split player base, right? If we want to all play Mario Kart 8, we got to fire up the Wii U, which I think that leaves you out, doesn't it, Mo?
Yeah,
because of the disc. So yeah, it would have been nice to at least do. There shouldn't have been any reason they couldn't do crossplay on Mario Kart 8. It's the same game, it's the same tracks.
But they would have lost all those double dippers, which I would assume would be a good portion of the purchasers.
Then enable it. Then enable it now, right? It's now that it's been out long enough. Just it can't be that hard. Figure out how to do it. We've just paid you a shitload of money for online services. I don't know. It seems like there are too many hurdles to anything, and just whatever I would want to play online just isn't worth it. Mario Kart's not worth it. Smash isn't worth it. There's nothing that is going to make me pay. The good news
is you can lapse 6 months and still have your cloud save data. So
that's what I'm going to do. If a year goes by and they've offered me nothing new, like what Metroid, what will there be? I assume there'll be online multiplayer shooter capability in Metroid. Will I care? Probably not.
You assume. You should never assume with Nintendo.
Well, come on. There was Prime Hunters on the DS even. So that to me is a bold enough precedent that I'll assume it's going to be all of them going forward. But go ahead.
All the first-person shooters have that though. Like Doom has an online shooter.
Yeah, it's just a standard component.
I'm pretty sure everyone's still playing either Fortnite or Call of Duty. I doubt there's very few people that are just like Doom is my one. That's my thing. And I don't think Metroid's going to be any different. I don't think you'll check it out when the game first comes out, and then the community will be dead.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the community will last for the life of the Switch, or most of it.
I think it'd be the same way for Pikmin 2 as well. Not Pikmin 2, but Pikmin as well. I think it would have a lot of people playing online at first, especially if it had something similar to Pikmin 3. But
Yeah.
I don't think that would be a sustainable community either.
No.
I should check in and see how Super Bomberman's doing.
And
Oh,
yeah,
man.
see, that's the thing is, those are one-off games. You need a perpetual online world that people want to keep visiting,
Yeah.
right? You need an online version of Breath of the Wild that makes people want to keep coming back. And stuff like Badge Arcade and those kinds of things on the 3DS were good, but they're not. You guys go back to Fortnite because it's an evolving world, right? I played WoW for years for the same reason. You're going, and in a virtual sense, you're really going to another place. It's another world that right?
Yeah, they keep it fresh, and that does.
Yeah, but it's the right balance of keeping it fresh but keeping it familiar, right?
Yeah.
If it was just a brand new world every time randomly generated, it would get old. But the fact that there's familiar landmarks and whatever, this is a place that you guys know, right? And so Nintendo just doesn't have that. The closest they've come is Breath of the Wild, but it's not a shared experience. It's a single, it's a world that a lot of people have visited, but individually, whereas you guys go hang out in Fortnite. And Nintendo needs to figure that out. And it doesn't have to be, you know what I mean? It can be an Animal Crossing social plaza that just has mini games or whatever. It's just got to be a permanent online presence that evolves and changes and is a social hub. Doesn't have, you know what I mean? Doesn't have to be a deep game. Fortnite, it really isn't a deep game because it's a roguelike, right? You don't collect anything. You don't gain any levels like that do anything, right? Everything's purely cosmetic. But that's not the point, right? So that Nintendo needs to follow that model. It doesn't need to be like an involved, deep RPG with all sorts of progression and stuff to be successful. It can be something a lot more simple as long as it has the right social components and is fun.
I think they've made a step in the right direction with Splatoon 2 and Splatoon 1, really. You've kind of got some social interaction, and they keep adding things to it, and they kind of keep things flowing, but it's not taking the next step. To me, it's where Nintendo likes it. It's safe. They can still control it greatly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's still in their wheelhouse where it's a little pocket universe unto itself, and they don't have to think about anything beyond the walls. It's, for lack of a better way of putting it, but it just, right, their games, like, right, they resisted DLC for so long because our games are a thing. They're a piece of art that stands on their own, and they would never patch anything. They would never do it. And to their credit, their games were always generally so solid and bug free that they never had to patch anything.
Right.
Or, there are obviously notable exceptions, but right, they resisted all that stuff a long time, and I still think they kind of look at their games the same way as they're these little pocket discrete things that they don't, you know what I mean? They still look at them as cartridges. They still kind of look at them as its own physical little box that can't be expanded upon in those kinds of ways. I wish I had a better way of explaining it, but I think you guys understand what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, rolling on with the presentation. Oh, we get more charts. We love charts. This chart presents a comparison of digital content sales and our dedicated video game platform business over the years. They have expanded since the launch of the Nintendo Switch, and they've reached a record high for the first half of the fiscal year ending in March 2019. As the sales volume of Nintendo Switch software increased, so did the consumer demand for the downloadable versions of the software, and this gave a boost to digital sales.
Especially since the physical versions cost more than the digital versions.
Yeah.
Well,
hard to find.
they used to not.
Of non-first party, yeah.
With the Best Buy deal and the Amazon deal that are going away.
But I mean, if you want to buy, Golf Story or
SteamWorld Dig.
SteamWorld Dig 2, games like that. You could buy the digital version for $15, or you could spend $30 and get it on a cartridge. So it's like, yeah, not a big. Plus, more people are buying digital now anyway.
Yep.
I mean,
That's not unique
we've
to
all
Nintendo.
complained. We've all complained about having to swap out cartridges. I would imagine Nintendo's digital numbers are lower than most. But we don't have other consoles to compare them to.
That's true. All right. All right. Amid the steady growth of the foundation for the Nintendo Switch business, software publishers are also debuting many titles and showing excitement about Nintendo Switch as a game platform. Here you go.
Oh, this is that. I always like this one because usually it's depressingly slim and full of stuff that you don't care about.
I'm surprised. The Dragon Ball Z game has done exceptionally well, I think.
Yeah.
I know a few people that picked that up.
Minecraft, Crash, Diablo, Dark Souls. I mean, they picked ones.
What are those flying watermelons up in the upper right?
That's the drum one.
Drum game.
Taiko
drum.
Oh, okay.
That's
What's
big
the one
in
next
Japan.
to it?
I have no idea.
A big hit.
Is that the SNK
major
game?
Publisher. It might be.
It kind of looks like it.
It's in
Starlink's
Japanese.
on there. And Warframe and Arena of Valor. I don't know if either of those is technically out. Maybe they are. Nobody cares.
Civ 6 is still. That's a good get for them for the Switch. I hope they do the controls right with touchscreens and all that business.
Look, stockholders, we have major titles from software publishers.
Yeah, I have to admit, this is right. We've looked at these in the past, and
at least 12 of them.
This is a lot less embarrassing than some of the previous ones.
Yeah.
Most of these are games you've heard of.
Yeah, it's still a piddly list compared to the other consoles.
You had Meme Run in a slide.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
But it's right. Well, I just on that last one though, it's still a piddly list, right? It's like it seems like we get every fourth or fifth announced big game.
PlayStation and Xbox don't need to include this slide in their presentation. Nintendo has to make it a big deal. Like, look, somebody other than us is putting out games on our system. But
for those ardent game fans, whoever wrote this has used some great language. That's another word we don't hear enough. Ardent. All right. Fortnite Battle Royale from Epic Games began during E3 this past June, and since then it has shown up everywhere, not just in the US and Europe, but also in Japan. It has gained so much momentum that it's been downloaded to nearly half of all Nintendo Switch systems worldwide. Many people continue to play the game, boosting the overall utilization ratio of Nintendo Switch.
Which is all they care about.
Which that's got us.
Yeah.
So why can't we get a data plan for it? So you could really play it anywhere.
Ooh, that would be interesting.
But you see, Nintendo Switch is unique in that people can bring the console with them so they can communicate while playing at a friend's house or elsewhere.
That's right.
What? Communicate? The hell are you trying to say, Nintendo?
If I go to a friend's house, I can communicate
while playing the game.
Are they talking? They kind of like they're dissing on themselves for not having voice chat, but then Fortnite, of course, Epic includes voice chat.
Yeah, I would have much rather seen stats on how much money they've made off of that game from whatever their cut is. But
yeah, did any of the consoles release that?
No, probably not.
Mm-hmm. I would love to know those numbers.
Yeah.
I bet each console manufacturer would like to know the numbers of the other console manufacturers as well.
you can see this image right here. This is exactly how we all play Fortnite.
Yep, some of us are hanging around the table playing tabletop, and some of us are playing handheld.
I played it that way. I played it that way at a wedding.
This is like the worst.
Four people though.
These people are stuck at the
No,
kiddie
by myself.
table at Thanksgiving. Look at how small that table is.
Yeah.
Like, let's cram these kids on the little table and let them play
Maybe they're
Fortnite
supposed to be
together.
at a some sort of coffee house.
Sure, internet cafe.
That's right. It's kind of an inside joke if you're following Fortnite news. Internet cafe challenges. But anyway, yeah, we need to find some friends' houses to go over to if we ever got invited to Switch parties, and our friends would actually pay our way. Yeah. Anyway, of course, they're bringing up Octopath Traveler, which has been huge on the Switch. And I don't think there's really any need to read through this. We all know what it is. And it's done great.
Sold over 1 million units. It's another million seller on Switch.
It's big for some people, just not with any of us, pretty much, right?
I have a couple friends that are playing it.
Yeah, I'm not like against it or anything. I'm happy for it, and I'm happy for those that are enjoying it. But
yeah.
But it is a big deal that it sold 3 million, or sold 1 million within 3 weeks. Of release. That's a pretty big number.
Yeah.
And here comes a list of developers that you haven't heard of.
Now read this again. Okay. Announced that the global shipments and download sales reached 1 million units within 3 weeks of release. According to them, both shipments and sell-through continued to climb after that. Oh, and sell-through has now surpassed 1 million units. So they shipped 1
they were
million
combining.
I see.
Well,
yeah.
Well, they're saying download sales plus how their shipments was 1 million.
And they're also throwing a little shade, Sam. If you believe the shit Square Enix says, according to them.
Yeah, but then and now both shipments and sell through, and now they've actually sold more than 1 million units. Why did they bring? Why did they even mention the within 3 weeks of release? That's just kind of a pointless bullshit number. Yeah.
Well, they want to let you know they shipped 1 million units and they actually sold them too.
Wow.
That's something. If you're kind of new to reading,
come back to the warehouse.
Yeah, if you're new to reading Nintendo's transcripts and information on their stuff, always pay attention to the wording.
You gotta read between the lines. Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't come back to the warehouse like the ARMS did.
That's right. We shipped out 1 million of those, but 590,000 came back. All right, so this next slide is talking about all the wide variety of publishers from regions around the globe.
So
and
wide,
of all
much
sizes.
variety.
Yeah, so much sizes. Includes indie developers have been on board since the release of the Nintendo Switch, thanks to the early availability of a development environment. This is a great time.
I've heard of all these except for Gorogoa.
I've never heard of this game.
No.
But everything else is, I've heard of.
Yeah, that was the one I was about to ask you guys if anybody had ever heard of.
Gorogoa.
Maybe it was big in Europe or Japan or something.
Is that even available here?
I don't know. I'm looking it up.
It's a smash hit.
That's how big of a hit. Was it a puzzle game?
Yeah.
Something to do with a big green eye?
Going to buy it now.
You get it on Microsoft Windows, Nintendo Switch, iOS, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Android, and Kindle Fire.
Shh. It's available for Nintendo Switch.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the other thing to point out about all of these games. Now, is Overcooked console exclusive?
I don't know.
Golf Story. Golf Story is, right?
Overcooked isn't. I'm pretty sure Overcooked 2 is not. I'm going to double check on Steam.
But some of these might be.
I know it's not because the Switch got a special character in Overcooked 2 as a platypus.
That's right. Yeah.
But all of these have been released ahead of time. I think just about almost all of these were out a long time on other platforms. But Golf Story, as far as I know, is just Switch, which is a great game if you haven't played it.
And it's on sale right now, I think.
Yeah, it's like
Maybe.
$10, something like that.
Yeah, you might miss
I-
out though, because when this drops, it'll probably go off sale.
Yeah, I gotta check because Golf Story is one that you were the only one that really picked that up, Jason, but I know we all thought that looked kind of cool.
It was fun, and it's got quirkiness to it. It's funny and fun to play. As long as you like golf or golf.
Golf.
Yeah. I'll just look for excuses to say the word golf.
Yeah.
Okay. We are also seeing increased interest via multiple media. Okay. From developers in Nintendo Switch development and software sales. Does that sentence make any sense to anyone else?
I'm not sure.
Wait, start
Say it
that
again.
over.
All right, read it again.
We are also seeing increased interest via multiple media from developers in Nintendo Switch development.
They're saying we've received phone calls and emails.
And software sales.
Uh,
I've never seen anyone say the actual term multiple media before.
increased interest via multiple media. I mean, I guess that means we're seeing more from developers in Nintendo Switch development and software sales. Like, I don't.
maybe they're
What the
trying
hell
to
does that
tout
mean?
maybe they're touting
Not-
that. Yeah.
Not
Put
Switch exclusive.
Put your
on other-
hand up during this meeting and say, "Excuse us, what the hell does that mean?" But maybe they could be talking about digital as well as physical or amiibo or wanting to do peripherals.
No, but they're saying
No,
that
it's
they've contacted them via multiple
Yeah.
media. So you're
Well,
thinking about both email and phone
they
calls.
sent a fax.
Yeah, and like
Text.
they've
Carried
But
a
then-
they've
pigeon.
sent them YouTube videos. Yeah.
But the next one is equally confusing. From developers in Nintendo Switch development. What?
Well, no, interest from developers in development for the Switch.
Yeah.
I get that part. It's just worded
Okay.
weird.
And software
then-
sales.
This one is a hit title is naturally high quality software in and of itself. But
Yeah.
what I'm just talking in redundant circles. I don't understand what the but I also consider it to be a title that consumers and developers all appreciate.
And they got to put
Shut
their
up.
slogan in here.
Just shut up. Just stop talking, buddy. I would raise my hand at that point and just when they called on me, I'd just go bullshit, 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 bullshit.
Do you think he had to do the finger quotes?
I would do that, yes.
You got to have the finger quotes.
What do you mean by play anytime, anywhere, with anyone? Well, you see, it's a portal. Oh, okay. Thank you. No further questions. So,
I feel bad because this is a bunch of businessmen sitting listening to him talk, and they're just like
just
bored out
nodding,
of their
just-
minds.
I want to know
just
how many people are
nodding
actually in the
along.
room.
Yeah.
Do you think there's more than 5 people in this room?
No, I've seen it. A picture of the briefing room.
Oh.
It's actually pretty small, maybe like 30.
Yeah.
But this is the lead up right here. At the financial results briefing in April 2018, we explained that more than 600 titles were available for purchase on Nintendo eShop.
Wow, that's a number.
As of October, there were over 500 software publishers selling software for Nintendo Switch, and worldwide, more than 1,300 titles.
Holy shit, it went up?
So wait a minute. 500 no, as of October, they're saying remember from
Yeah, from April to
October.
October, it's over doubled.
Yep.
No.
And
We're just letting anything on now.
Yeah.
We're also counting all 3 versions of Minecraft.
Oh yeah,
But
you know they are.
If you have been checking out their YouTube page, or if you've seen the news, then you know there's also a holiday ad out, and it features over 1,000 titles available on Nintendo Switch, which I think is a very interesting thing to sell at the holidays.
Yeah.
They're going to continue for an increasing number of publishers going forward. So they're going to get even more people you've never heard of.
It's going to be great.
And this is great here too. We as a company are deepening our ties with the developer community and beginning new activities in each country focused on game titles that would be difficult to introduce through conventional media channels.
Leading
Like
off with
Treehouse?
Gorogoa.
That's right. It's apparently difficult for us to understand
Well, they're
conventional
probably
media
saying that they're
channels.
bringing unique software that can't be played anywhere else, or not in the same way.
By conventional media channels, is that meaning on other platforms?
Yeah, it would be difficult to introduce this on a PlayStation, being that you can't just flail your arms and
Yeah, we've got to
touch the
look at
screen.
Indie World here. Oh my! How did you guys not pick up on their T-shirts? But how many of these have we heard of? Mini Metro, Overcooked, Stardew Valley. Okay,
Yeah,
Undertale,
it's an
Celeste,
expanded version of the list from the last night.
Luminous. Yeah, I mean we've heard of some of these.
Yeah,
Guns, Gore, and Cannoli. That is on all our wish lists. Yeah, I guess there's some games in this random Japanese box animal game.
games like Hollow Knight would be difficult to introduce through conventional media channels because it's been on every system first before it came here. I have no idea what they mean. Maybe they meant it would be hard to get coverage for this on ABC, NBC, and CBS.
I guess so.
This time, they mean actual media channels on your television.
Are they all
I
putting
have
out
no idea.
commercials? All right. Next, they're going to talk about the outlook for the upcoming holiday season. But
That's
first,
great.
let's go back and look at the business outlook.
Oh, yes.
Please.
As was explained, we'll look to the release of new titles this holiday season with a solid foundation we have built. Keeping up this momentum. I can tell you, in the year of 2018, the Nintendo Switch, momentum is the word I would use to describe it.
It's like the tortoise and the hare.
Momentum, multiple strong titles. Boom,
Slow and
boom,
steady wins
left
the
and
race.
right. Yeah. All right.
And that's our blitz of new major titles.
Yep. And
Which-
see, here's these
Yeah.
titles.
3.
There they are.
That's a blitz.
That is a turkey shoot triangulation of gunfire.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Which one is different and does not belong?
we will release a blitz of new Nintendo titles as shown. Like that's oh Jesus.
It's so
Like, who
big
the
of a
hell-
blitz, it doesn't even take up one slide.
Look at all the
Like-
white area.
We had to center Super Mario Party.
Yeah.
So as to distract
Like, you
from the
couldn't-
white, yeah.
Depressing. Wii
Oh,
U,
sad.
thank you, Wii U. Right? This was a Wii U. This was a Wii U Christmas lineup one year.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
comparable to this. Probably a Mario Party, Smash Brothers, and not a
Pokemon.
Pokemon, but maybe it was
Pokemon on
Pokemon Rumble.
Yep.
I will say certainly that
Oh,
the
yeah, on
highlighted bit
3DS,
is true. These will further enhance the allure of Nintendo Switch and make it appealing to a wider range of consumers during the holiday season because it couldn't hurt it.
Now, all those people say, "Oh, Smash is on there." Well, I don't want to Switch.
Yeah. I mean, now that you've got a Pokemon of sorts, you've got a Mario Kart, a Mario game, a Smash game, a Zelda game. It's like all of a sudden this is becoming quite an alluring piece of compelling hardware.
I wasn't going to buy this, but now that they've
Yeah.
got Super Mario Party, I cannot resist any longer.
Yeah.
If it had online play, man, I feel you there.
October through December Blitz has worn me down.
I'll wipe the sweat from our brows as we move from this slide. And then they each get their own slide because they're that big.
Mm-hmm. Well, Super Mario has 2.
Oh, yeah. Super Mario Party is the newest installment in the Mario Party series, if you could not guess.
Oh, is that what that is?
And again, let's add the air quotes
Yeah.
in the
It is a finished
slogan.
game.
And they used the term newbies here.
I hadn't noticed that it is a finished game.
Yeah. I just want you to know.
Oh my
This isn't-
Jesus Christ!
this
I
isn't
expect
cannot
it to
believe they
become-
felt it necessary. They felt it necessary to say this is a finished game. Like, despite what you may have heard.
Yeah.
And we expect it to become an evergreen title for scenarios like parties where people come together.
Everyone
That's
from
what
regular
definition of a
gamers to
party.
newbies.
In case you didn't know what a party was, there'll be other people there.
Yeah.
If you were planning on sitting in the corner playing with your Switch alone, like you do all the other time,
Yeah.
it'd be nice to
Maybe.
be invited
Wait,
to a
hold
game
on.
party.
We got to look at the wording. They might be talking about orgies. Oh,
Wishful thinking.
get it? Parties where people come together.
We need to move on quickly.
Where's the level for that game?
This was a bad choice to do our first live broadcast, huh?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, if you're joining this for the first time on Twitch,
Sorry.
this
No,
is
man,
what
this
it
is-
is every week, though. So
This is why we have the, parental advisory or whatever the hell we have on Twitch that tells people that we will occasionally say vulgar things.
I
Because
hope I didn't ruin your No Nut November. With this riveting press conference.
Anyway, you were saying.
So the good evaluations by consumers have been borne out by the recent sell-through. I tell you, the writer here, he is a genius.
This
So
is
sold 1.5
impressive.
million.
That shocks me. That a game that came out within a month, it sold through 1.5 million units.
It's the new Mario Party, man, and it's not bad. I'm telling you. It's just, what's the
And this is
point if you don't have
worldwide, by the
online?
way.
People
Yeah.
are desperate for a new Switch game.
Then, yeah,
This
that's true
has
too.
killed Mario Tennis, right?
I would think so.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
I guess this must be an evergreen title.
And then you notice right here it says we are also seeing an increase in Joy-Con sell-through with the release of this title. That's because the Joy-Con
It's
are bundled with it.
And they're finally doing big discounts here and there on those, right? Well, they have for a little while now, but they're popping up here and there on Amazon for actually occasional deep discounts.
I can't tell what's going on here. Are these Asian people camping, or is their house just missing a wall?
Wait, sales will grow even further. Oh yeah, I
If
know.
more
I mean,
scenes play out.
yeah, I think they're glamping. That's a
That's
thing
called
now.
it's called a party. It's where people come together.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
Max
no,
was here to
honey,
tell us.
honey, take
Yeah,
the
they-
back off of the house.
yeah,
Right.
but no,
Under
like the
tents.
back. It's all tents, man. That's glamping. Have you heard of this? Where you go out and it's
all
like a
those
fully
lights.
furnished tent.
Oh, you need a generator to run your electronics.
What is
Yeah.
this? And is that little pans? It's
I
like a full Japanese kitchen right there.
this day we might be.
You know what I think it is?
Yeah. But the gist of this is that they're basically saying someone who's never seen or heard of a Nintendo Switch could be exposed to this for the first time, and it may have the potential to drive hardware sales.
But
Well,
sales.
This will be
go
making
ahead.
more scenes.
So if more scenes play out between now and the end of the year, where this title is played in places where people gather together,
Sales will
What?
grow. Sales will
What?
grow even further.
But
No,
wait a minute. It
if
says
more
you may get the
scenes
urge
play
to buy the
out-
title. Okay, go ahead.
what the?
If more
This-
scenes play out between now and the end of the year.
So I assume we're also dealing with a weird translator here.
I think so.
In
It's never
addition
been
to,
like this
Well,
before.
see, here's the thing,
Yeah.
because people may get the urge to buy the title along with the Nintendo Switch when they get together to play.
They might go to
So-
a party and
Let's
come
add a
together with
Best
people
Buy.
and see the game and
Yeah.
decide, hey, I need this.
hey, all the little 6 and 7 year olds around the family were enamored of mine. begging me to bring it over for Mario Kart.
And you
So
notice
I see it.
the two Joy-Con they've got here. You've got the blue. You've got the neon red. That's come with
That
a
looks like
Switch.
Mario. That looks like Mario Red to me. That's
But then-
that looks like the darker red.
I like
But
how
look
they're
how
all
dark
pretending to
blue
look at a
that is.
TV, except for the guy on the
Yeah.
left who's just cheesing at the camera.
Maybe.
They're like, "Why are you holding it like that?" And he's like,
That's
Yeah,
exactly what he said.
I wasn't sure what the hell to say about that dude. That is a dude, right?
"Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so."
Yeah, I think
And
so.
on the far right side, that's his friend.
No, this is mom and dad and their two sons.
No,
Right.
I think it's 4 friends.
It's hard to tell.
I don't know, but yeah, there's a green and a yellow. As far as Joy-Cons go.
Hooray, Mario Party! That is a lot of sales, though. For
Coats
1
were
month.
outside.
Well,
They're-
the green and yellow is what counts with Mario Party in
Yeah.
America, isn't it?
Wasn't it green and
In
pink?
North America.
Oh wait, green and yellow. Yeah, here.
Oh, I
They got
forgot.
green and
Yeah,
pink
that
or
they
whatever.
did have the funky colors with it. Reused colors.
Getting rid of those arms extras.
This has the potential to drive hardware sales because people may get the urge to buy this title along with the Nintendo Switch when they get together to play.
I
So
just like
when-
to buy the game by itself. I don't use Switch to play it on.
Yeah.
Well, see, when you get together and play with the Nintendo Switch, you may get the urge to buy this title.
It could happen
It could. All right.
if
Next.
this continues.
Global release of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. The latest installments of the Pokemon series will take place in November. The release finally brings the Pokemon series to Nintendo Switch. And then here's some more great. Wow. This is how they look. This title is designed to be enjoyed by everyone.
Oh,
It is
thank
easy
God.
to play for people new to the Pokemon series and endearing to fans of the Pokemon games. Kind of missed that one.
Oh, that's cute.
We have a big fat zero among this
Yeah.
little circle, correct? As far as people that are going to pick it up.
Yeah.
I'm starting to have second thoughts about that.
They're talking about the people with the
What do you mean
Pikachu
by that?
backpacks.
I mean, I'm starting to think that maybe I will pick it up,
There you
but not
go.
at launch.
You want that Pokeball?
I kind of do.
You look great on
The
your shelf for the
Pokeball
rest of the Nintendo peripherals you don't use.
I can
Yeah.
replace the Pokemon weed, Pokeball weed grinder with that basically for my little setup on my shelf.
I don't think this one will grind your weed.
No, but then I can actually use that for grinding weed, not have to worry about keeping it clean.
And there's some sort of thing with it too that it's going to spin Pokestops for you or something.
Yeah, we heard this news. Apparently, if you have a Pokemon in the Pokeball Plus that you're carrying with you, it will auto spin Pokestops, which is a very strange feature.
Weird.
Will it do it fast enough so when I'm driving by at 45 miles an hour? It's been,
Sadly, I'm saying it's
Oh.
still limited by the speed limit.
psh,
In the beginning, when there wasn't a speed limiter, that was the best. You just be a
Yeah.
passenger in a car and just drive through downtown. It doesn't matter. You would literally spin the stops faster,
Yeah.
faster than you could, or you would need to spin them faster than possible.
Yeah.
All right, but moving on before we digress. The Pokeball Plus will be released at the same time as a play accessory for this title. Play accessory. That's a new word. New term.
You can put it.
Yeah,
in
it's not a
this bag.
controller. It's
It's a play accessory.
yeah.
Kind of like an amiibo.
You can hear sounds and feel something in the palm of your hand
That sounds pretty kinky.
when you succeed in capturing a Pokemon.
Oh, he's using air quotes here. The Pokeball Plus can be used instead of the Joy-Con as a game controller and thrown,
So to speak.
so to speak, to capture Pokemon as a trainer.
Further enhancing the realism of the experience.
You can throw it, but it's attached to your wrist, so it won't go anywhere.
Unless you forget to put that wrist strap
Probably,
on
yeah.
and then it hits the wall.
Oh, it's the Wii all over again.
It goes to the TV.
And you can take your favorite Pokemon out into the world outside.
Oh, virtually.
Virtually. And as they walk around. And it feels like the Pokemon is actually inside the Pokeball Plus.
Oh, that's crazy.
Ooh,
Oh, because it's got
so
HD
realistic.
Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More than half of all consumers who have pre-ordered this title chose the software bundled with the Pokeball Plus.
Which means 5 of the 10 people that pre-ordered this got the Pokeball Plus one.
And if you carry this Pokeball around with you, you won't have to continuously to look at your smartphone, because that would be much less weird to walk around holding a ball in your hand than looking at your phone like every other human being.
Yeah.
So they can be linked with Pokemon Go, so they can carry around the Pokemon captured with Pokemon Go. Can't you already do that by carrying your smartphone?
You know what would be wonderful? If this kind of fun, or if this fun kind of linkage piqued the interest of Pokemon Go users all around the world. Oh wait, it says that.
Wow.
It would be wonderful.
It would be
So
wonderful. It would be wonderful for Nintendo.
For us. Mwahaha.
And have made special bundles for consumers
How
looking to
convenient.
purchase the system
So
together with
convenient.
the software.
Like, man, I would totally get it, but I don't have a Switch. Oh, wait a minute.
There you
I
go.
want ugly brown and yellow controllers.
I want to say, you know what's going to really start upsetting me here in the next few months is I happened across a Game Explained video where they were unboxing their Diablo 3 Switch. And I lived through this with the 3DS systems as well, but these people get everything. So they're going to be unboxing a Pikachu one and a Smash one. And it's like, this guy's just got like 6 Switches in his house doing nothing.
Oh, he gives them out to friends.
For free. Yeah.
Sells them on eBay for inflated prices.
Yeah. But yeah, awesome bundle.
All right.
Everyone wants it.
So the next big title, of course, Smash Ultimate, released in December. This is the name of the overseas version of the game. So they say overseas in Japan as well. Interesting. Be the largest title, bringing together famous franchises, characters, and will be the gaming industry's one of the greatest collaboration titles.
It has an overwhelming amount of content.
It's overwhelming. It's so overwhelming. We need to move on quickly.
Yes, I'm overwhelmed.
Amiibo presented the first example of our use of our own IP. Okay. An Amiibo figure total sell-through has reached approximately 50 million units. Wow. That's a staggering number.
Yeah.
This is what we just talked about earlier. All the characters released on Wii, all the characters that appeared in the Wii U and Nintendo 3DS versions of Smash Bros. Have been released as Amiibo figures. On the same day that the new Smash Ultimate is released, we will also begin to sell 3 new Amiibo characters. Alright. In November, ahead of the December release of Smash Bros. Ultimate, we will offer a package bundle of a specifically designed Nintendo Switch system together with a download code for the software, ready for play from the day of the software's release. If you haven't been following the news, these have actually been showing up in the wild. People have bought them.
I saw them in the store.
Yep. Oh, you saw them in the store?
Yep.
Cool. By way of additional special Nintendo Switch bundles, we are working to offer other well-timed products to match consumers' demand. For example, releasing special packages of Nintendo Switch bundled with Fortnite Battle Royale, which is a free-to-download game, and Diablo 3 Eternal Collection in markets outside of Japan for the holiday season.
I've seen the Fortnite one in store. I've seen the special outfit in game.
Yeah.
Same. I've not seen it in store yet, but cool.
I was not impressed with the outfit.
No. In-game, no. Or on the box. And of course, they're also still offering Nintendo Labo with 3 different kits. Our expectation is that sales will accelerate because Nintendo Labo is a product that people can choose to buy as a gift for kids during the holiday season, much like a regular toy. So in other words,
and then when you get it home, you'll realize you need a Nintendo Switch to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're banking on the parents and grandparents that don't know a thing about video games saying, "Oh, look, little Jimmy would enjoy playing with this giant robot."
Yeah.
Now I'm so embarrassed that I bought it for him and didn't realize he needed a Switch. I'm going to have to buy him that too.
Yep. They'll be even more embarrassed when they open it up and say, "Let's see your giant robot," and it's indeed flat pieces of cardboard.
That take 4 hours to put together.
Yeah.
But that's the selling point.
Yeah.
And then
It's an activity and a game.
That's right.
This will shut the kids up for 4 hours. No, it won't. They're going to be asking you for help the whole time.
Yeah.
All right. In addition, we are preparing to introduce a succession of Nintendo titles, including the ones shown here, early next year and beyond. So expect continual enhancement of the Nintendo Switch software lineup. Continual enhancement. All right. Let's consider the business outlook for the 3DS family. I'd imagine it's pretty grim. It's lightweight, price-friendly, and highly portable. So the Switch is just portable. This is highly portable. Affordability is a strong point that positions Nintendo 3DS in a niche clearly separate from the Nintendo Switch. In the grand scheme of things, Nintendo 3DS has a prominent position as the product that can be served as the first contact between Nintendo and many of its consumers. And for this reason, we will keep the business going. And then here they're talking about, I'm going to skip through these pretty quickly. They're just talking about new bundles coming out.
Yeah, they've done some commercials on their YouTube, so they're pushing the 2DS hard this year.
And just like with the Switch, although they don't give a number, they're saying, here's lots of titles, so they're going to continue to be available, so we will do our utmost to foster sales opportunities. So they're saying, we're going to continue to sell stuff we've already got on the shelves. And then here's the new titles for the 3DS. Note, it is only one less than the Switch. But this also includes for around the turn of the year, so this is going into 2019 as well. It's kind of sad. All right, NES Classic Edition, Super NES Classic Edition, both continue to sell as must-have products. I think that's all that we really need to say there. All right, smart device business. Dragalia Lost, a new and original game application developed in collaboration with Cygames, was released on September 27th. It's going to be limited to 4 regions of Japan, Taiwan, Hong Kong, and Macau, but the U.S. was added when the service began for the title.
There are a lot of people in Europe that want to play this game.
I didn't realize it wasn't out in Europe. That's really disappointing.
Yeah.
Even before the service launched, we had 1 million people, over 1 million people pre-register for this title. This confirmed the presence of a certain number of consumers who are keen to play this game. That's a really odd way of putting it. And even though the service launch was only slightly more than 1 month ago, we have already recorded sales approaching 4 billion yen by now, since its service launched September 27th. Again, this is all stuff we've talked about before, so no big surprising things there.
It's doing well for what it is. Especially without a tried and true.
Right. But again, they bring up Super Mario Run, the mobile game that just will not die.
So I don't understand. How is this just not an embarrassment?
Congratulations, it's now an evergreen.
Yeah. For every owner of a smart device.
Downloads. Nowhere do they talk about money made.
No.
It's just, hey, people have downloaded something with Mario on it. No shit, Sherlock. Wow.
Well, as you notice from that last
pathetic.
line, it says, it plays an important role in helping to maximize the number of people exposed to a Nintendo IP. Because that's really what this is. This is
Yeah,
saying,
bullshit.
hey,
Mhm.
who's that cute guy with the big nose and the red hat? Is that
I've
Christmas
never
related?
heard of him before.
Huh, Nintendo. I think I've seen that in the stores.
I think this is really interesting. Downloads in countries outside of Japan continue and now account for over 90% of the total. Yeah, but you're exactly right. It's moved on to a evergreen title. And of course, we get another evergreen title here. Fire Emblem Heroes continues to grow with sustained number of active users and total sales rising at a steady pace. And this is our super fancy chart.
Yeah. No
Somewhere,
numbers. There's
so-
0.
so somewhere above 0 people are playing their game. They're happy. But they are continuing to plan a major update for version 3.0 around the end of the year. They're going to continue to pour effort into development and operations so even greater numbers of consumers continue to enjoy the game. All right. Now, this one is really fascinating. Around a year has passed since Animal Crossing Pocket Camp was first released, and more of half of the currently active users have continued playing the game since the initial release last year. So they're saying the people who originally downloaded the game last year are still playing it. Over
More than
half.
half?
Wow.
I don't buy that at all.
I don't know how. Wow.
I don't buy that at all. Like most of the people, what is that? Like, yeah, well, I don't understand how that could be. That can't be real. That has to be some kind of bullshit numbers because that's not like I don't know anybody who's still playing it except you guys. Well, you guys have opened it here and there for events, I suppose. Maybe they count that.
That could be.
Have to.
Anybody who's opened it in the last month or two by
I
accident?
did.
I
I
did.
opened it for the Odyssey hat, the Cappy hat,
Yeah, and this.
and closed it.
Splatoon stuff.
I have not touched it since that first week.
And poor old Mario Kart World Tour or Mario Kart Tour did not even get a slide.
Yeah.
But as we've described the above services, we also plan to start a service for Mario Kart Tour, Mario Kart application for smart devices sometime during the current fiscal year, ending in March 2019.
More information when we know what it is.
That's right.
Yeah. As soon as we get some artwork for it.
And maybe that little Game Boy accessory.
Oh, that would be nice. It would be cool to have it. I don't know, though. Do you think they would ever sell accessories for a smartphone game?
Not for the game, but
Only if
Maybe
it was a
just in
virtual
Japan.
console service.
yeah, that I would buy.
Yep. All right, as we wrap up here, the important thing for holiday season is the further uptake of the Nintendo Switch. So, in the current fiscal year, new major titles released for Nintendo Switch are concentrated in the third quarter. We have that's 3 games. We have established a firm footing ahead of what will be the second holiday season for Nintendo Switch, and we plan to offer new software so more people can come to know and enjoy the charm of Nintendo Switch. As a result, we'll be working to build up the excitement in terms of hardware and software sales as well. Thank you very much.
So we'll see some games for Christmas, and then do we all expect another 9-month drought until next season?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Sure
the
looking that way.
continuation
Fortunately.
of the system's life. They seem to feel that they can rest on their laurels. And it seems like with titles like Tennis and Mario Party, maybe they can.
I think they're putting a lot of stock in there. This is, however many thousands of games we have on our eShop. The one telling number there is we have 1,300 games by over 500 developers. Dude, there's not 500 good developers out there. There just aren't. I'm sorry. There's a lot of crap and there's a lot of shovelware and there's a handful of very big developers we would like to see some games from and we don't. and then there's a bunch of developers we've never heard of. Don't get me wrong. There's some great indies like who the hell make Golf Story?
And
Does
Sidebar
anybody
Games.
like what else have they made? I'd never heard of them before
That's
that.
their only game.
Okay, well there you go. There's somebody you've never heard of that has only one friggin' game, but it's a good one. But I would argue that most of the other stuff on the eShop does not fall in that category. There's, they made sure to pick some good ones. Don't get me wrong, but there's just, we've talked many times before about the crap.
Yeah, I think the overall takeaway from this, unfortunately, is that the holiday season is coming. There's nothing else to expect other than what we've heard about since E3 or before. And it looks like 2019, unless there's a huge direct coming that's going to change everything, is going to be pretty much like this year. They seem to be happy with what they have, sadly.
It's that just enough mindset with everything else. The Switch is just powerful enough. It's got just barely enough battery life to not be a joke. Right? It's got just enough first-party AAA titles to call itself a real console, but just barely.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right, just to wrap up here, any other thoughts to add on the presentation?
No mention of the $20 million goal in the presentation.
Or 20 million
Units.
sell-through for the year.
Yeah.
That's true.
But we knew that was a joke when they said it.
We won't hear it. Win or lose, I don't think we'll hear about it again until the end of the fiscal year.
The president did comment on it about, he didn't say anything about specific, just that when we set this goal, we knew it was going to be a hard goal to achieve. It wasn't going to be something that was easy. So it was intended to be an unrealistic challenge goal. So he's already kind of foreshadowing. What we didn't realize is we'd sell less than half of that. We'll see. I think they could hit 10 million.
I think they will. I think they'll be well over 10. I'll put them at the same numbers they did for the first year, roughly 16.
Yeah.
I think that's achievable, but I don't think 20 is. I think they won't fall crazy short, but they will fall short. My prediction.
Well, we'll know in 3 months.
Yeah,
Well,
3 more months.
4 more months, right? Isn't it?
4. You're right. 4.
Yeah. End of March,
3.
isn't it?
Because it's quarterly.
No,
so.
it'll be quarterly. It'll be the end of December. Will be the next quarterly meeting, which we should have all the holiday numbers. And they're going to say,
I thought March was when it would end.
I thought that was when they're.
That's the fiscal year end.
November, December.
Yeah, I thought that was what
this was October.
It was from launch date.
Oh, yeah.
First year from March 3rd was 16 million.
Yeah, March is when their fiscal year ends. So this is the third quarter. So there's one more quarter.
That's true. So around the 1st of April, we'll finally hear what
we'll hear how they did. Yeah. After complaining since Christmas that there's no games.
And I really think it'll turn out just like last year. We'll have a direct, and they'll announce a handful of games. And we'll coast through
that aren't coming out till summer.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, I want to wrap up now. I want to thank everyone for watching. And if you're checking us out on Twitch, we're trying something new. We are live streaming, so you can listen as we record on Twitch. This is completely unedited and just us. You don't get the sweet opening and closing. But, hope you've enjoyed it. And if you did, drop on by YouTube or hit us up on Twitter. You can find us there and on Stitcher and iTunes. And as always, thank you for listening, and hope you've enjoyed it. Have a good night.
And for the next one, I'll work out the live chat maybe. Party on, folks.
Yeah, if you're interested in chatting with us live or popping questions up to us maybe at the end of the episode, we don't normally go this long, but we would be glad to hear from you. So All right. Good night.
Not all.
Good night.